since I have been this low. Every now and again it starts to show. And my crown is slipping down, everyone will see. Underneath these faces, it's just me. What's underneath? You say that you will be happier when all this fades away. We go faster and faster to get through today, when tomorrow will feel like yesterday. Let it go. It's been a while since I have been this low. Every now and again it starts to show. Let it go.
I'm not bald. I'm sorry. I'm not bald. I lied to you guys. I'm sorry.
Loser.
Thank you for the sub. Welcome everybody. Hello Orb. Basilisk. I am not indeed bald. I'm sorry to disappoint. Maybe next time. There was a legitimate conversation yesterday about how much would be taken off, how much for the memes and stuff. But yeah, there is a lot off the sides. You're just disappointed. Look, guys, I'm in a relationship, so I have responsibilities. So there's a limit. The parasocial ceiling is a little lower than it is with other people, because if I went bald low, I'd probably not only lose my hair, I'd probably lose my head. But yeah. They hit us with a new Krakatoa catchphrase. You mean Krakatoan catchphrase? Oh, yeah. So yeah, there's a lot off. You know, I'll give you like the full experience, you know. So the hairdresser is actually one of Pepper's friends who does, she does jiu-jitsu with her. And I cannot tell her how excited that she was. She was like, how many subscribers does he have? Wait, how many people are going to see this haircut? She was like very excited. So yeah. If you could show us the side profile of your head and then bob it up and down, you'll look like the Wicked Witch of the East. So we'll see. I always judge haircuts like a week in. You get what I'm saying? You can't judge them. You got to wait like a week. So we'll see how it goes in a week. But yeah. My wife likes the haircut a lot. She was obsessing about it all day yesterday. So that's the most important thing. She likes it a lot. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see. Yeah. There's still a lot in the top, so hey, Frito. And there's still, I mean, guys, there was a lot of hair taken off. Let me see if I can find the picture. I think Pepper posted it in Overwatch General. Like, there was a lot of hair taken off. Like, okay. Let me see if I can dig around here. Like, look at this. That's what we were dealing with, okay? Like, just for context, that's what we were dealing with. So, let me see if I can find another one here. This is not even all of it. This is like half of what was taken off. So, oh my gosh, look at this. I didn't even see this. Wait, check it. Look at that. What is that? No, I don't use hair product. Low taper fade? I mean, kind of low taper fade. Imagine finding that clump of hair. Yeah. Lightwaves, thank you for the 7 years. Turn to my right and say time to eat.
Turn to you right and say time to eat.
No, Lightwaves. No, Lightwaves. I almost did that. She almost got me. Frick me. That was clever. You almost got me. For context, guys, my cats would freak, and Lightwaves knows it. For context, Lightwaves, you've known me. You've been subscribed to me longer than Amari's been alive. Where's our bush? No. Yeah, I had an intro and everything.
Why have we already clipped your hair?
Yeah, there's already pictures of my hair.
It looks good, chat. Look, I want to just say, so here's what we did. See this? We kind of did a little bit of the fade on the side.
Yeah, I showed them.
But then, also, sorry.
Where's the book? Oh, yeah, give me the book in a second.
Oh, yeah. Basically, here's the issue, okay? Is as his hair, this is the
I feel like a Muppet.
Here's the science of the hair.
More so than usual.
As his hair would grow out, these pieces of hair were like just as long on the side as the top. And so then they would do this, except they were like to here. So it just kind of part down the middle. Even that one's a little long there. But as a whole, we have cured him of his bush hair.
Yes, thank you. Can you give me the book? Loof's book.
Yeah. Did you eat all these?
No, I haven't eaten them all yet.
Oh, you eat some?
No.
Can I eat some?
I kind of look like a child from the side. Thank you, Techie. Yeah, I can have some. All right, so I have a P.O. box. And so I don't get things very often. I've got a handful of things before. So one of my viewers, I'm not going to name any names, but it was Loof, was like, you got to check your P.O. box, dude. I sent you something. I'm like, go to the P.O. box. I checked the P.O. box, and what's her name? Fartenberry? Fortenberry. Some lady had the P.O. box before me, and name was Fortenberry, so I get a bunch of stuff from Mrs. Fortenberry, like random crap. But then I get a little box in there, and I'm like, oh, look, feels like a book. Guys, what is this? What is that? Why? Why is this? Why? Let's read an excerpt here. Yo, listen up. Fam, for real. I'm telling you, if someone tries to sneak into the sheep pen without using the doors, they're straight up thieves and robbers. But the one who enters through the door is the real deal, the shepherd of the sheep. But they won't follow some stranger, yo. They'll bounce and run away because they don't recognize their voice. Jesus dropped this story on them, but they didn't get what he was talking about. You feel me? Okay, so that was something. Guys, I've got a P.O. box, and for that, I spent money for a P.O. box, and for that's what I'm spending money for. Anchor, thank you for the sub. I'm paying for that experience. So, yeah. That was thrilling. And the worst part about it is I'm not just paying for that. Loof paid for that. You paid money for that.
But you did read it on stream.
Oh, is that why I have a P.O. box? Do I have a P.O. box for the LLC?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so never mind. You're right, Nodlin. I know these things. People wants to know what's my P.O. box. Is it in... Where is the...
You shared it at one point.
I don't know where it is. It's within an hour of where we live, so it's like not super inconvenient to get there, which is nice.
Spilo's sort of doxing himself.
Well, I mean, I've always said upstate South Carolina.
Sort of doxing, slowly doxing more and more.
Prediction for Scotland versus France? In what?
Life. Who would win? As countries?
No, Nightwalker, I'm not going to do that. Dark Snake Twitch, thank you for the sub.
You see Mari, look at her.
Yeah, she's conked.
She fell asleep listening to the Gen Z Bible.
Rugby. Oh, rugby, I don't know. I don't follow rugby as much. I'm not as good. But I'll say Scotland. I will say Scotland, but there's no bias in there at all, certainly.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah, Dark Snake, thank you for the sub.
I know you wanted him bald. I'm just not. No.
We talked about like what we do for the bald low, but I don't know if Beth would do it. I don't know if she'd freak.
No. First of all, stop doxing my real name. And
Get
second
fricked.
of all.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I look like a Fallout 4 synth. What does that even mean? Is there a sub goal to shave it all off? No. Do you guys
Maybe we bleach it.
do you guys want to do some AI coaching here? Don't make the joke that's obvious there. Let's pull up my headphones here. We're gonna watch the matches from this morning. Not really. I have to selectively follow professional Overwatch because if I were to follow professional Overwatch, it'd be basically nothing but professional Overwatch, and that's not really the focus of my channel. But I try to hit the highlights when where I can. Is my code name Rooster? Thoughts?
Rooster, like from Top Gun?
Yeah, Pop Gun.
Is that Top Gun or am I crazy?
I think that's Top Gun.
The new one?
I don't know, bro.
He needs this. The mustache.
Mustache? Okay, chat, let's do this. Let's take a look. So for context here, somebody said something about Microsoft Copilot is coming to gaming. AI. And then a video got posted yesterday giving a demonstration of this. So we're going to take a look at the context and the quality of the coaching here. So I assume this is like with the Xbox experience, or like I don't know if it's going to also be on your PC. Like I don't know anything about this.
Xbox platform, including AI, Xbox Play Anywhere, cloud, and more. We have Fatima Kardar and Jason Ronald here as our experts on all things AI.
Imagine what's in the future with gaming and AI.
To truly at the forefront of technology, which has got to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Got to be kind of intense, I imagine, too.
It is definitely intense, but in a good way.
Yeah, totally.
We'll slow it down a
Jason,
little bit,
your
so
title
too
now,
fast.
the VP of the next generation. I'm sure there's 100 Star Trek jokes I could make right now.
Should just be on Windows.
But I want to ask you what that means.
I'm saying is on. I don't know if it's on
Yeah,
Xbox
I'll
or
actually
not.
challenge Fatima. I think I have the coolest job.
I knew
That is
he
an
was gonna
intense
say that.
beard.
But no, seriously, I'm really focused on
change
where
the
the future of
headline.
gaming is going and how we need to evolve the Xbox platform to meet where that future is. So that's everything from looking at the future of silicon, the future of our hardware, working with our great hardware team, partnering with Fatima and her team as we think about how AI can be transformative for gameplay. And ultimately, we're just really focused on how do we evolve the Xbox
Guys.
ecosystem to meet both creators and developers where they are.
I'm gonna eat some
and
venison
one of my
stew,
favorite parts of my job
gentlemen
is
and
working
ladies.
with the best creators all around the industry,
yeah.
just to make sure that we're designing an
Shut the frick up. Tell me what we're doing here.
takes a
What do we got
village.
here?
And so there are a ton of
Absolutely.
people. Jason,
Shut
we know
up.
each other a little bit. Fatima, I'd love to start with you.
So maybe I should tell you this. Last night when I should have been prepping for the podcast, I was playing Stardew Valley.
Nice.
So that should tell you a little bit about the kinds of games that I play.
Yeah.
I'm newer in gaming, not like Jason, of course,
Yeah,
who's
Jason goes hard.
who's the pro, but like really.
At least until Shadows comes out.
And even when you are working, you're probably playing.
So for me, because I'm relatively newer to Xbox, my first instinct was to really learn more about the players. So really, if we're going to go build products, especially as we think of where gaming is headed, what needs to be done, I really need to ground myself in the player and where they're moving forward. And that's the part.
Yeah, so let's just kind of frame this really fast. Like, so Microsoft Copilot, AI assistant, and then the article discussed about, there was even an article linked with this as well, and it was discussing how like there could be like live AI feedback coaching for somebody that's playing Overwatch. and I assume this is with Xbox, and I assume this is also with the Microsoft PC. I don't know the timeline for this much at all. For me, I'm less interested in the logistics of it, because that anyone can do the research, and that's pretty easy. It's more to do with like, what is the quality of the coaching like? Now, based off of like AI as a whole, where we are evolved right now, like my expectations are pretty low. I think a lot of the coaching that I find for Overwatch and other games in general, it might as well be AI on quality. And these are from real people. So I think legitimately the bar is weirdly high and low at the same time. Like I think there's a lot of really good coaching content out there that's not even mine from some high level coaches, but there's also like a lot of like really brain rot, low tier educational advice as well. So I guess the question for me would be more about, is this stuff good for onboarding people to the game in general? Because I think one of the big criticisms for Overwatch, which is 100% accurate, is their practice tutorial onboarding for such a complicated game is really, really, really bad, and has always been relatively bad. Like even back in 2016, where our expectations were lower, it was bad. Like it didn't do anything to prepare you for the game that you're getting into. And to be fair, for a hero shooter, that is a very difficult thing to do. I understand that, just the nature of the genre of the game. But there really hasn't been a concerted effort to actually improve that at all. I think it would be amiss for me to not at least bring that up as a potential issue. So in terms of onboarding people, that would be where my expectation for AI could be useful. Not going to talk about like the ethics of the whole thing and whether it works and whatever. We're not going to be focusing on that as much, but I mean, I could see a world where that would be useful for people that are brand new to the experience, you know? It's just a very tricky thing, because there's this moment where I think like a lot of educational advice, like that's even aimed for beginners, is just actively bad. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how you would tell, like, if we were talking about like what would onboarding look like for Overwatch, it would be basically introducing the concept of range, explaining why cover is important, check your team's positioning, making sure that you're using this, the basics of using ultimates and things like that. Little things like the heal passive, and reminding the heal passive, and check your supports, and taking angles. What's a good angle, what's a bad angle? Just nothing, like, not even very complicated stuff. Just try. But I don't know if half the coaches out there can even explain that to that level, much less an AI. So I'm honestly have very, very low expectations here. And so we'll kind of see here. And this is not even factoring in like how difficult it would be to actually utilize and implement this, and how consistent people would be at that. Like even the Overwatch in-game tips are really bad, right? So yeah.
That I found very interesting, like gamers.
Exactly, Sarah Lee. Just worried that soon a bot will be able to sit and say, "Where's your next position?" instead of you being paid $100 to do that. Yeah, exactly. Right. So
in the future are definitely multi-device, right? Like they use Netflix, they use Spotify, they're used to their content going with them everywhere, and that's the trend that you see. And I was looking at some very interesting stats that say, like, as you go from like the broader cohort of gamers to Gen Z, Gen Alpha, then the percentage of the gamers that are now multi-device increases. So you really think about experiences that have to go with you everywhere. The other things I realized is, again, because consumers are not just consumers in isolation. They get experience to all the other consumer products out there. So they're used to being more personalized. They're used to having no friction in what they're doing. And now, especially when you think of like the really popular AI products like ChatGPT, what does ChatGPT do? It basically says, instead of you learning how software works, it learns how you work. So really having it be really easy to interact with. So when you think about that, that's really the most interesting thing, is players are expecting different things. And it becomes really important is, how do I build gaming experiences where the players are at the center of the experience? I feel like that's really what it taught me, how to make games more approachable, how to make sure new players like me who would be intimidated by games other than Stardew Valley. I have tried some other ones and I have stopped them very quickly, because I was like, this is not going anywhere. So really helping when you're stuck, when you're helpless, like something that I've kind of seen a lot is like people come back to games. What does that mean? Like, where were you? What just happened, right? So there's a lot of those kinds of things where I think that we can do to make games better. And I feel like the other thing that I feel very strongly about.
And that's the key thing there, is it's like the onboarding is what she's talking about. So it's like, how good is it for new players? And like, it's easy for everyone in this YouTube chat, this Twitch chat, to kind of feel like this is dumb, this is stupid, ignoring your problems with AI. But the reality is that this product would not be designed for you. Like 95% of the people listening to my voice right now, this isn't for you. So I do think that there's like, we kind of take our own biases because we're not the demographic that this would be intended for, right?
About is that as we think of how AI will be applied to gaming, we have to share early. Because in some ways, you don't know, I don't know where things will resonate. We really for sure don't want to mess up the gaming experience. So we have to be very cautious about it, which means we put things out there. We let people kind of give us feedback, try it out, see what resonates and build from that, right? I feel that's going to be very important. It does make us uncomfortable. Like, it makes me uncomfortable. I keep getting reminded that people expect a lot from the Xbox brand. And like, that is what keeps me up at night. But like, really, I think making sure that we let people be part of the future that we can envision with this is going to be very, very important, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we talked about it a bit, but like, I love the fresh eyes that you're going to be bringing to this as kind of someone who's newer in gaming and exploring like these new experiences.
It's also worth pointing out as well that like, this isn't really coaching. This is tips and tricks and onboarding. Coaching is like a much more social and like relationship focused experience. Thus, like, that's how I coach, right? This would be like the equivalent of like competing for like tips and tricks videos, coaching subscription services, maybe onboarding and stuff like that. It can't really replace that. I don't think it can replace that for any, like, even a game like chess, which I'm sure an AI could do a very good job of onboarding people how to play chess and then even correcting beginner mistakes. If you're really serious about chess, you'd want to have like an actual relationship with a coach that could kind of work through, because a lot of people struggles with the game. Once you get past that barrier to entry and scale from there is much more personal struggles, shortcomings, almost therapeutical kind of a relationship there, which is why AI has such limitations when it comes to stuff like that, right? It's why even my YouTube content has limitations of how much it can do, because it can only be personalized so much, So it could call it coaching is a stretch. At most, teaching, right?
Is compared to like someone like Jason and I who just play maybe a little too much. And I would never say too much, but
well, and I think also to build on what Fatima's talking about, one of the things that I see often when I go talk to developers is there's a large percentage of games that the vast majority of players never actually get to experience because they run into some challenges or because they don't understand that there's this awesome side quest over there. So for me, I'm really excited to see how AI can actually enable people to experience more of the games that they're already enjoying and they're already playing today.
We should talk about that because I think player pain points is a big one. It's interesting that you guys are thinking about that, focusing on player pain points, potential opportunities there.
We have to think about what is the value that Xbox can uniquely bring, right? So it's very, very important. There's a lot of things that can be done, but what is it that we can help unlock for players and for creators, and really then make sure that we can bring those people along, like I talked about. And that's when you like put the next lens on how can AI unlock. Like, I really don't want to start with AI. I really want to start by kind of really grounding myself in gameplay and players and creators and understanding their problems. So like, I feel that's going to be like at the core of everything we do.
Yeah, I brought this up on the show before, but like my mom and I have a really close relationship lately because she's been getting into gaming so much since COVID, really ramped up. And so I think of so many times like the question she texted me like, oh man, if Copilot could just answer this for her, it'd be a great experience when she's playing Human Fall Flat or whatever it is. Let's dive deeper into what we're currently building for players. Specifically
yeah, so actually it's fancy that you mentioned Copilot for gaming because that is one of the things that we are working on and we want to bring it out to players to try.
I actually haven't played Age of Empires 4.
Copilot in the context of Xbox has to be about gameplay. It has to be personalized to you.
No shot though. What are the odds? Well, I guess it's Microsoft, so that's crazy. Age of Empires and Overwatch, baby.
You like to
my
play,
two favorites.
And it should be able to help you kind of get further in gaming.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, this looks like garbage. I don't know why. I'm being as respectful. Okay, actually, I'm not being respectful at all. The graphics just. Oh man, nothing beats the old school graphics,
be your companion and help connect you with family and communities. AI is going to be there and you can chat with it and it can trash talk you if that's what you need. But really, AI can bring those people together and help you tell you when your friends are doing things as well.
Nice, nice. I like the idea of like, I can set a setting of how disrespectful it's going to be
Absolutely,
to me. Yeah,
right?
like, is it going to be like, maybe you should have mind that versus like, maybe you should just get better.
Exactly. Right. And I will tell you, like, this is not just Copilot. My 6-year-old and my 9-year-old are usually my gaming partners. And I get a lot of yelling like, Mama, you are so bad.
I do like the idea of you guys playing co-op games with your kids though, or just like experiences like that where you can all kind of play together. I'm trying to get my parents to do Sea of Thieves with me. Like, let's all get on a ship and play. It might destroy Christmas, or whatever the next holiday we get together is. Yeah. I even talked to my wife. I was like, is it bad if I want kids mostly to have a full stack in a game? Like, is that if that's the number one reason, maybe not the best.
Yeah, but really when you think about the Copilot experience and what it would be, like it's about helping you, but it's also about telling me what games to play, right? For me to land on Stardew or any of those, I had to ask a lot of people and like, here's what I need. I play with kids. I need to be easy. And really having somebody who can help me understand that and say, okay, here's depending on actually your mood as well. Like this is what will work.
All right, I'm not gonna lie. This is my boomer take of the day. I don't like that. I think it's fine to have like recommended games, but like Netflix does this, Steam does this, I think it's a little bit dystopian to be relying off of an AI to tell you what you should be trying, because I feel like the entire point, there's two things when it comes to like what type of media that you want to enjoy. Number one is just like do your own research, because that's part of the fun, is like researching different things and learning for your own and learning more about like the categories and learning more about I mean, I personally really enjoy it. Google, Reddit, IMDb, Steam reviews, whatever. The research itself is satisfying and feels rewarding. And I feel like I make an educated choice about it. And the other one is like, part of the culture is that you watch things because of a social relationship or a social connection that recommends them to you. Because, let me give you guys an example here. So I'm watching Severance right now. We watched Severance season 1. It's really fun. Do have to like VidAngel it because I'm not as big a fan of like the language if I can avoid it. But overall, the show is really good. I thought it's really thoughtful, really creative. I really enjoyed season 1. And now I'm watching season 2. But I'm enjoying it more because I'm watching with my sister, and a lot of what they watch is recommended off of me. So if they watch the same things that I recommend, or they recommend stuff for me to watch, what it does is it gives us something to talk about, and it's really fun to talk about it with her because it's not just about the show, it's about talking about it with somebody else. So I feel like part of the fun of like gaming and media as a whole is like the connections that you can have with people discussing similar interests. Do you get what I'm saying? And I know that this is me fighting uphill. Like, exactly. YouTube is already dictated by AI via the algorithm, right? But that kind of depresses me. You know, it's like, bro, part of the fun is that I have a relationship with someone, so I'm able to share interests with them. If I ask, you know, Cortana or Copilot, which I watch, and they just tell me and I just do that, like that takes a lot of the fun out of it. And it's like, I don't think that's me being just boomer. I think that is I feel like that's the truth. I feel like you were rewarded more for putting work into kind of looking into new things and thinking easy, not just taking the easy way out, you know? I find that really a little bit dystopian, and that is like a very easy dopamine quick fix, but it hinders things, man. Here's the other thing. Do people use a subscription feed on YouTube anymore? Everyone talks about like, oh, the YouTube recommended is the way to go. YouTube recommended, YouTube recommended, YouTube recommended. So what's the point of subscribing to somebody? Am I the only one out there that uses the subscription thing on YouTube? Like, I don't miss videos from my people that I subscribe to because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm always checking like every 2 or 3 days. I'm like, oh, I missed that one. Looks interesting to me, you know? And here's the other thing. Do people only use For You on like Twitter and stuff? That seems so like messed up. Like, here's a really funny thing. All right. Twitter is so algorithm focused right now that you won't even see posts from people that you're following. Unless you're using the following page. I only use the following page. I don't want to get brain rot. Dude, Twitter tracks how long you stay on an article before you scroll down. If you stay an extra couple seconds, it's more likely to recommend or show for you future articles. You won't see jack all. It's messed up. It's super messed up. It's really, really, really uncomfortable. They're just trying to keep you to keep scrolling. And here's what's worse. You know, Twitter, whatever, like low expectations for that website as it is. But Facebook does the exact same thing. Facebook is so bad that I see 60% ads, 70% ads in my Facebook feed. Now you're like, oh, Facebook boomer. Well, I'm sorry. I have personal friends, families, people, kids that I used to coach jiu-jitsu years ago. I'm interested in, and I won't even know if stuff is happening to them unless it's an algorithmic appropriate Facebook post. What kind of timeline are we living in right now? It's so just depressing. It's so depressing. And I don't care how successful or profitable that process is. It's messed up. It's gross. It's so gross. Really, really, I encourage you guys. It's not just gross. It's unhealthy for you mentally. I encourage you guys on any social media app platform that you're on, avoid algorithmic as much as you possibly can. It's fine to touch your toe into it to find new things that you might be interested in, but never should be your default. Never. Never. Never, 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 never. It's designed to keep you logged in on things that are interesting or dopamine inducing, but avoid it like the cancer. use your subscription tab, use your following tab. Maybe there's a way to do it with Facebook that I don't know. I should probably look into that. But I literally don't even log into Facebook anymore. I'm tired of seeing ads. I don't even see the stuff that so avoid it. It's dangerous. It's not just, it's Coach Spilo Boomer. It's dangerous. And this is a bit of we're kind of getting off topic here, but I do think this is the kind of similar thing. Let your social group dictate some of your interests a little bit. Go in your own direction, do your own research, or let your social group encourage, because real connections with real people mean something.
This will not work. You want to go practice kind of your controller muscles, try this game, right? So I really think about those kind of things where helping you get to what you need to do. All of it is with one goal, to help you get to play first, right? And that's the biggest part of it.
Find your next.
Yeah, but you see, that's so weird. Play first. More. Play more video games. More. FOMO.
Next adventure, and then kind of enhance that adventure.
Absolutely.
I think about, you and I may play the same game, but we play them fundamentally differently.
Right. Yeah.
I might be a tank, you might be a healer.
Yeah.
Or even think about a game like Forza, where it's like, maybe I actually prefer to drive in this style of car versus.
Well, okay. It's FOMO in terms of, maybe there's something that Copilot could recommend me that I'm missing out on in a game that could be really good. Bro, there's always going to be stuff that you're missing out on. It's true that, I see what you're saying. But yeah, they want you to play as much as you possibly can.
This style of car.
Yeah.
So just really having an assistant who can actually help me understand how to just have more fun.
Also, I guess it's hard to get people to play with you. But part of the thing that she's describing is her kids are helping her learn new games. You get what I'm saying? And I'm like, are you saying that you should replace that opportunity? Copilot should be, okay. AI should be something that fills the void of what cannot be or does not want to be done by humans. Recently, I did a feedback form thing. I had 1,856 whatever forms, okay? I've told about this. There was a pretty good argument for me using AI to sum that up, to simplify that process. But I did the foolish thing and went through all of them. It took me 11 hours. Because there was an emotional response of me reading through people's real words and the real feedback and saying very kind and encouraging things and giving legitimate, straight up criticism. And I recognized a lot of the names. I knew a third of the people that gave me feedback. I recognized them. And it was it kind of stuck, I don't know. If there had been more, maybe I would have to have done it. But it felt like I would have been missing out if I didn't just grit my teeth and read through it patiently and think about who was saying it and why they were saying it. I don't know. It's weird. It's if there's nobody there for you, Copilot's great, okay? But are you really saying that you don't want your 9 and 6-year-old to help teach you how to play a game? Isn't that kind of a messy but fun little bonding opportunity? Think about what you're missing out, lady. You're not helping out in your point here. It's dystopian, Maybe I'm pulling her out of context a little bit, but I do think that is something that you have to consider.
Based on how I choose to play other games.
Yeah. And
sometimes uncomfortable things are good for you. And
to you. Generally, everything you do. What other main points I think are you searching for in this work? What is top of mind for you as you kind of explore Copilot and what it can do for the gamers?
It's not just about AI showing up to help you. It's about AI showing up at the right moment. So I think we have to really think of the experience that we build. It can't be intrusive, right? It cannot show up in the middle of the game. It's a little bit of an art, and it is a little bit of let's have people try it and kind of find out from them what it would be in those kinds of games.
Yeah, that's funny. My mind goes the idea of being so close to beating a boss and just it popping up saying it looks like you're getting slammed.
If I flip a coin and it lands on heads, I'll pay for coaching. I've just been on the fence for so long. No, I'm not. Nah. If you have any hesitations, the answer is no. If you have any hesitations, the answer is no. Enjoy playing the game. Just have fun with it.
Exactly. Gaming is the only form of entertainment where you can get stuck. So I look at that. That's where you want something to show up and say, actually, look, this is what it looks like. Let's get you past that.
Yeah, I imagine it's gradual too. This is not just an overnight thing.
Oh, it is not. We're going to start. We want to put something out there. We want people to try it. Because the more
Kids,
people try it, the more people use it, the more it will learn. If I'm playing Stardew Valley, what I need is where do I go next? You have 2 hours before it gets dark.
Exactly. That's really what I want it for is time management. I get to play for 2 hours. What am I going to do?
Exactly.
And I guess kind of teed it up there in that last conversation, but when can gamers expect to get their hands on Copilot?
So actually, you'll be seeing
What people don't realize is that most of what is hyped these days is generative AI, which is a different brand of machine learning, so it's not a crutch reliant. AI in general is good, for instance, is how your smart fridge or TV works. Yeah, sure. I think that the core thing is that there's always nuance with these things. It's like we want to be very careful about being lazy with my arguments, and I hope I'm not coming across with that, especially because I don't feel like I'm educated enough to give an opinion outside of the little topics that I'm talking, So, yeah.
Seeing Copilot for Gaming showing up on mobile first in Xbox Insiders.
Oh, wow.
Mobile just helps us experiment fast. So like if it shows up in the Xbox app, we can try things based on feedback, we can tweak it. But I also, going back to the point I made earlier about not being intrusive.
Yeah.
Like if I have this experience show up on the console in the middle of your gaming and it wasn't fully baked and you got killed, like you would be mad at me. Right? I do not want you to be mad at me.
Yeah. Fatima!
Yeah.
And so really you're having a companion experience. So even if you're playing on your console or if you're playing somewhere else, your experience shows up on mobile and people are starting to get used to two devices or two screens at the same time. The Xbox is not about a device, and Xbox is about me, the person. Same, my companion should go everywhere with me, right?
Yeah, totally.
Well, and this is something that I actually love that we're being bold, we're putting it out early, even if it makes us a little bit uncomfortable, because I think we've really worked with the community to understand we want to develop this with the community.
Yeah.
So if you think about the Xbox Insider
good
program
approach.
as an example, we evolve the product in real time. We get that feedback directly from the players, and then that helps us make an actual better product. So I think it's just core to the DNA of Xbox is to really build Xbox together with the community.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to do the exact same thing with AI.
That is wild. My next question, what else is coming this year on AI? If we're talking
There is a lot coming in
Really?
at AI, for sure. We have been busy. I think what we need to really build assistance is you take the game.
What is this Spilo coin? It's just a joke. It's just a joke. I'll change the command. I'll do a really good command like thong buckle. Real ones, remember.
Understanding, you then understand as we talk about people who are playing on the game. It understands Ethan. It knows what Ethan likes to do, and kind of bring that information in.
Stuff's been going well. Thank
really
you.
understanding the context that it's in. Is this a scene? Is this a boss? Right, like that kind of stuff. So I think that is going to be kind of very, very important for us to build a really holistic assistance vision.
Totally. You got GDC right around the corner. I imagine showing off some of that there, maybe?
Absolutely. We will be showing out some things. Actually, I brought some videos as well. We've been partnering with a bunch of our studios and kind of taking different genres of games just to see what it would look like in those. These are explorations and proof of concepts. But what is really cool about them is they help us understand what we need to do on the platform.
Yeah.
One of the things I love about being part of Xbox is we have sister teams who are all kind of studios. So every time they have an interesting idea where like there are lots of very good people who will tell me, this might be a little crazy,
man.
right?
Sorry
So
about
with
your
a game
PS4,
like
man, that
Overwatch 2,
sucks.
what we really explored was what does it take to reach that threshold of feeling successful? And I love that term because your level of feeling successful is different. My level of feeling successful.
Not really,
and so in
Panda.
that, we explored some scenarios like assistance, like on team composition, what could you do, right? And then like maybe post matches kind of coaching you and like doing it in the down period. So like really it was exploring these things. Maybe we should take a look. That might
We got a video. I'd love to take a look.
Lemon Line, T, thank you for the sub. Okay, so keep in mind that I assume whatever we're going to see here, let me see. We got a few minutes. Yeah, not even a few minutes, like a 1 minute of like proof of concept. So we're going to roast the crap out of this because it's funny. But obviously this is proof of concept. This is going to be, the reality. Okay, so this is the reality. Okay, so it's probably going to be more of like a demonstration of what it could sound like. And I would actually bet that the coaching here isn't actually real. I bet they actually just typed in what it's going to say. It's not actually AI. I'd be surprised if this is actually AI coaching you, more about like how it would feel. So we'd probably roasting some poor intern that plays platinum level Overwatch and just is typing some random crap just for fun. It's probably not actually AI doing this here. That being said, it's just going to be funny to pretend that it is. So let's have some fun. Okay.
Xbox Copilot prepares you for the competition.
Oh
Let's slow
no,
it down for
Echo's
this.
taken already. What should I play now?
Echo's taken, but Cassidy would be a solid pick with this team. His mid-range hit scan and Mercy's damage boost will work great on Ilio's ruins. Okay, so mid-range hit scan is pretty good. Yeah, short to mid-range on Ilio's ruins. He's fine on Ilio's ruins. Yeah, he's okay. Mercy damage boost, the Cassidy is also fine. So nothing egregiously bad here. It's all right. No, it's all right. Plus, you've done great with him on this map before.
Okay. Oh, jeez, this is loud. Okay, so, nice. We're up one. We're front lining.
Xbox Copilot helps you during the downtime.
How did I die so fast?
You stayed in the fight too long after your teammates were down. Great picks with your ultimate, but diving straight into Ramatra was a death sentence. Next time, retreat to regroup with your team.
No. There were 3 members of the teammate here. So, like, again, this is, not AI coaching. We're just having fun with this. But we were actually up 1 here. We were up 1. It was fine. Just don't face Ramatra, you jackass. Stay off the point, please. So this would be the better AI coaching would be, excellent high noon. Please maintain your range versus Ramatra to leverage your poke weapon versus his melee weapon, and this fight would have been an easy wrap. GG easy. Getting frizzy with it. W Riz. Like, we would have been fine there. We were getting double pocket.
How did I die so fast?
You stayed in the fight too long after your teammates were down. Great picks with your ultimate, but diving straight into Ramatra was a death sentence. Next time, retreat to regroup.
These dog water support mains don't have their monitors turned on. Make sure to report them and
with your team.
All right, whoops. We're up 1. Sombra, cover.
Xbox Copilot is there when you have questions.
Whoa, what just happened?
Who's the AI? The voice or the... Whoa, what just happened?
Sombra hacked you, disabling your abilities, then melted you with her machine pistol.
She melted me. Okay. Thank you, AI.
To counter her, stay near Kariko for a quick Suzu cleanse or move.
Or how about just, like, stay near cover? Like, we're in the open.
Whoa, what just happened?
Whoa.
Sombra hacked you, disabling your abilities, then melted you with her machine pistol. To counter her, stay near Kariko for a quick Suzu cleanse, or move unpredictably to make hacking harder.
No! What are you talking about? Moving unpredictably? I'm gonna strafe hack? Are you stupid? Come on, man! Come on! Give me a break, dude.
That Sombra is annoying me a lot. I think it's time to switch heroes.
Oh no. Okay. Cassidy, Torb, Tracer. I mean, May, Junk. I mean, anything. Oh man, this is gonna be good, guys. Any guesses? Okay, if you've seen this, don't say anything. Any guesses? Again, this has to be added in post. I agree that there's no way that this is they don't have like the AI itself, so we're making fun of some poor scripter here. But okay, here we go.
Good call, Soldier 76.
Ow! I just stubbed my toe. Ow! Oh my gosh, that was Soldier 76. Oh no, bad versus the hero, bad on the map. Oh man, this poor intern. All right, well, I couldn't help myself. ChatGPT gives me basically the same answer to the first question. Wait, I'm gonna come back to this one in a second.
Could work well here, since you can pressure Sombra at range and self-heal to survive her engages. Stay with your team and keep an eye on flanks.
So for context, Sombra dumpsters Soldier 76 because the reality is that if you hack Virus, you can kill him before he even gets heal station off. If you don't hack Virus, you just open with Virus, Soldier can drop down healing station and potentially survive, but unless he hits the Helix directly, it's really hard to win the engagement, and you can just disengage and re-engage, and he's not fast enough to chase you down and kill you. It's not a good matchup. The only thing that's good versus Sombra is technically Tactical Visor can't be interrupted by EMP, and this Soldier's not good in this map either. I think it's too compressed.
Incredible.
Okay, so what does ChatGPT actually say? I'm playing Overwatch 2 and Elias Ruin's team is Malga, Echo, Mercy. I want to play Echo. Let me zoom in just a little bit so you guys can see here. Best alternative picks for you. Sojourn would be fine. Cassie would be fine. Widowmaker, sure. Pharah is good too. These are okay. These are actually, the DPS picks are okay. If you pick Sojourn, Cassie, player on high grounds for better sightlines. Widowmaker, Tracer. Yeah, this is better.
You don't understand that coaching is wrong on purpose. So you want to stay lower rank and want to climb to grime, spend more money. It's all a conspiracy. Yes. White mode. Sorry, I don't use this website here. So this is actually how I coach, guys. Okay. I guess we'll let them finish up a little more here.
Able to kind of see that. Like, I was immediately surprised with the depth of knowledge. Like, you just got melted by the machine pistol, you know? Like, that's pretty...
The depth of knowledge is incredible. I appreciate this interviewer, like, playing ball, but, yeah. Saying that's depth of knowledge is like saying I've got a Grand Canyon in my front yard, you know? The moles have been really bad.
That was the whole point of the exploration that we did with Overwatch 2 is like, you want to refer people back to the original source of the information. What you have on the web is absolutely helpful, but at the end of the day, the game creator really understands that. And so what is the mechanisms that you do that, right? I completely agree. That I'm glad that point got nailed.
It really did. I mean, what amazes me that it's sourcing this game knowledge like in real time like that. Fatima, how do we ensure accuracy of Copilot?
I think it comes to multiple things. First, we have to really go back to the source. There's plenty of information on the internet about games, right? Not all of that is accurate or it gets out of date. Like, it was accurate, goes out of date. So for us, it's very important that we have to partner with creators and game studios, as well as other content creators, when you think of guides and stuff as well, right? Not only do we want to help bring the right information to players, we want to partner with them and make sure that they've put in the work. They should be able to benefit from that as well, right? So we're also looking at what it means to refer back to the content creator. Let me show you
Okay, so we'll stop there. Last little note here. I don't know what the plan, like taking it out of the AI and putting it back into the Overwatch here. I don't know what Overwatch's plan is. I know Gavin Winters talked about they're bringing in-game stats back in, which is obviously pretty helpful. It's a small detail for this kind of thing, but I do think it matters. And I have reached out to Overwatch in the past and said, if you guys are ever interested in updating your tutorial or your in-game beginner or whatever, reach out to me. I will be happy to help you guys with that. So if that is something that they ever end up doing, sure. I don't think it's at the top of their priority list though, so who knows. But yeah, it's ignoring the I mean, we have basically everything that's been said has been said. I guess the tie-up is like, AI will never replace coaching. AI will be, if done well, could be a very valuable tool for onboarding, but also at the same time, I don't think it should be a replacement for, number one, social connections with people that will create a more meaningful gaming experience with you, which is the most important part of gaming. And then the other thing is that AI onboarding should not replace a game's built-in onboarding system, which Overwatch lacks. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, and make sure you swap to Soldier 76 versus Sombra. Crucial counter pick strat. Really important. Why does the AI always tell me to swap off Wrecking Ball? Yeah, but I do think I am woefully undereducated when it comes to AI in the larger headspace and so on. So we'll kind of leave it there. My father-in-law is super invested in it. I actually sent him this video when I found it because I know he'd be very invested in it. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about Rivals. Let me change my game thing because this is going to be a pretty interesting. Let me change the YouTube title as well and change the game. Pretty interesting discussion here, I think, because this will be. I'm not going to say the door is closing on Rivals. I don't think that will be true. I think that's going in the same way of freaking out and going, oh, I'm not doing Overwatch anymore, that I didn't do. So we're not going to do the same thing when it comes to Rivals. Where's the game selection? Game title, Marvel Rivals. Guys, give me a second to do this on YouTube, and I'll do it on Twitch. But we need to talk about like my plan for Rivals moving forward, and then crucially, why my plan is what it is with Marvel Rivals. So in the same manner that we did the perk project kind of on stream and then prep the video based off of some of the scripting that I did with that, I'd like to do that today, and I would like y'all's help with that. So if you have good and bad things on Marvel Rivals, I want you to get your sauce prepared because we're going to talk about it. It's not just going to be me yapping here. Let me change my Twitch thing, and then we're going to be good to go. Marvel Rivals
On Here I Dose, posted on Hot Takes. I haven't really looked. I probably won't have time today, Slow Bro. I apologize. Okay, let me set up a channel here, which will be ironically under the Overwatch sub-channel. Good and Bad Rivals. I'll move it to the top of Overwatch. I'll show it in just a second. What do you like, dislike about Rivals now that you've had... Put it on slow time. Permissions, we'll do slow mode here. So if you guys have something else, you're just going to have to either edit your message or so on. Okay, so I have a couple of notes on this as well. Here's the Discord channel. It's in my Discord, !Discord. If you're on YouTube, it should be in my About channel. It should work. And I want you guys to be... I'm going to let this kind of cook, and then I'm going to talk about my points here. I want you guys to be thoughtful, okay? I would challenge you guys to be very specific and really just specific about what you really like and what you don't like about the game. Don't just say it's a casual game. Well, why? Like, give me reasons, or don't just say, oh, it's so much more investing or so much more interesting than Overwatch is. Okay, well, why? Or like, how do you build those ingredients up here? Because I'm gonna have some of my own lists here, and I'm gonna talk about my personal journey with Rivals as well. Let's see here. Nope, not that one. Okay. So while you guys are typing in the channel here, are we doing the Bronx Spectating coaching today? I decided not to do that this week, Spicy Basilisk. I'm going to postpone it because of the Marvel Rivals, oh my gosh, the replay viewer bug, which would make the whole thing pretty cancerous. So we're going to wait. We're going to push that one back a little bit. So let's kind of talk about this. Like, here's my problem with Rivals. Let me update the... Actually, I need to update. My gosh, there's so much to update. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to be a responsible streamer here and update all the things here. The rise and fall. Again, in quotations. Not like Rivals is struggling by any means. But for me personally. So I guess let's just start with that. Let's not dopamine things up too much. And I will kind of pull this up here. And we'll kind of go from there. So, Here's where my journey with Rivals went. I think this deserves some context. My journey with Rivals was playing the alpha, playing the beta, playing closed beta. It's a new hero shooter. The concept, the topic is a lot more interesting to me than a lot of the other hero shooters. I think the concept of Rivals that really stood out to me over things like Valorant, Apex, and so on is it did feel like the first hero shooter. The actual proper AAA, whatever you want to call it, high budget hero shooter. Because for me, yeah, I'll zoom in a little bit. For me, the thing that really turned me off about Valorant and Apex and CS and so on is like, it's just not a hero shooter. There's abilities, but it's not, it feels like a more of an evolution of CS less than Overwatch itself, because the hero shooter aspect is so much more important to me, because it's what initially appealed to me specifically about Overwatch. And I think like that concept for me was like, that's why a Rivals really interested me. I don't really care as much about Marvel. I'm like the average person. I found the Marvel's peak of movies to be relatively entertaining. I liked Iron Man. I liked Winter Soldier. I followed the Avengers movies. I wasn't a huge fan of them, but they were fine, you know? So so I get in the game and I play it. I'm like, wow, these have a lot. This game has a lot of pretty spicy character designs. Black Panther's pretty appealing. Spider-Man's pretty appealing. Obviously, Winter Soldier, when he was released in closed beta, immediately clicked with me. And there are a lot of things like that really kind of clicked very fast. And it felt like, okay, visuals aside, third person aside, AoE ult simulator aside, there is a lot to this game. Feels fun. And I think that's the key thing for me. I don't need to sit here and break it down. We don't need to analyze it like a microorganism under a microscope. It just was fun. It doesn't have to be more complicated than that. Then the game goes live. And for me, my biggest litmus test for Rivals was how it evolved in its first few months.
what was the iterative process of the game. If you guys go back, and I'll pull it up here actually, I had several reviews of Rivals. Maybe not several, but a couple reviews. So let me actually see if I can find them. Basically, it was like, this is what Rivals says. Well, this is my review of Rivals. Beta review from Marvel Rivals. This was the closed beta review. An honest Marvel Rivals review. Just little stuff like that. So like I did a little bit of like initial reviewing of like my thoughts in the game and things that they could do well and things that they didn't do well. A lot of it was like bug issues or cycles of character designs or the way things looked. I think my initial thing, I had a whole issues list which talked about some of the gameplay loops, some of the gameplay cycles, the, concerns about potentially role lock, but being open to the concept that it might be okay. A lot of hero design issues where some of the characters just felt a little clunky that had potential, and so on. And obviously, I'm just one guy, but my biggest concern with Rivals from the start was that a lot of my complaints, which I felt like were really fair, if I do say so myself, like they weren't like nitpicks about like, oh, this is bad, this is good, you need to introduce role lock. I was willing to like let Rivals be Rivals, but there was just like some really easy stuff like Black Panther hitboxes are really buggy, or there's certain things like certain heroes feel like you don't have any cooldown management at all, or you just basically heal bot the entire game, or this thing is this doesn't work out. Even the heal passive, out of combat heal passive just feels like unnecessary frustration. And so and these support ults last two, nothing happened. Nothing happened. So first off, there were no positive changes were made at all. Like not a single one about any of my potential concerns for the game. But then more than that, and this is the really damning one, is that nobody was saying those. So when I watch a lot of other Marvel Rivals reviews from a lot of other creators, outside of the Overwatch headspace especially, and nobody is saying anything in terms of shortcomings of the game. Everybody is like saying, oh, this is just the greatest game ever. It's perfect. It's just, there's literally nothing wrong with it. It does everything better than Overwatch, which there's a lot of bitterness with Overwatch. So a lot of people were just happy to see it do anything. And that really concerned me. I would not even say blinded by the fun. They were just happy that it wasn't Overwatch. And so it doesn't matter what aspect of the game it was, because it wasn't Overwatch, it could do no wrong. And that meant that there was a real dearth of good feedback for this game in its alpha and beta. Whether that would have been followed or not, I don't know, but nobody had any criticisms for this game in the alpha and beta. So the alpha beta, nothing changed. Very little changed about the gameplay loop, very little changed about bugs or visuals or map design or ult design or anything. It just went in exactly as it was. And it was like, well, that's not good. Like, are we not going to change stuff here? Oh, this is hilarious. I'm not even using my abilities. And so it really meant that I was like, I kind of go into this game and I'm kind of concerned that like, okay, well, it's still the same game, which means it's still fun, but like, we could do better. Like I think as a part of the game development cycle, you really kind of need to try to be ahead of the curve. Like you need to kind of anticipate problems before they become problems, right? Or at least, but that didn't really happen. And I think it kind of, you got to blame both sides of the equation here. And so the irony here is that I wonder if Overwatch hindered Rivals. It's a weird thing to say, like where it was both benefited from Overwatch being so unpopular because so many people were willing to give Rivals a shot. But then the other aspect was people were so angry at Overwatch that it compromised the good feedback that was given to Rivals. So like Rivals actually suffered a little bit because people were so like willing to wink at anything in that game. And I think that this is where, like, I'm going to clarify this more in the video once I actually script it out. But, like, the TLDR is that, like, I think that the key thing is that Rivals doesn't need to be Overwatch. And my main criticisms for Rivals are not that people shouldn't have fun playing it, but it's more along the lines of about why I personally, with my taste in games, don't enjoy Rivals as much as I thought I would. And I don't think I ever will. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's just not a good game in that aspect. So let's talk about some of the good things that Rivals does. first. So kind of given that context of like my stance in the game going in, people have really high expectations of the game. And so let's talk about some of the good here. So I'm going to pull up my notes here. Let me see if I can dig them up really quick here. There's a lot of negative things to say, but let's talk about the good things here. Let me make the note here. So we'll scroll down here. So good for me. Let's talk about the good things here. Dude, I actually had a tweet, an old tweet. Let me pull up the tweet because I actually was going to do this video a long time ago, and I kind of got slipped around. Do you guys remember that? Like a long time ago. Let me actually see if I can find it. Okay, yeah, here we go. So this is old. This is like a couple months old. Things that I like, DPS hero variety. So like we can make some of these notes right here. So like good. I think the DPS hero variety, melee heroes, combo heroes, unique fun designs. Like I think the DPS cast especially is like really, really fun. Like so much unique expression of like magic is really fun. Black Panther's really fun. Spider-Man's really fun. Winter Soldier's really fun. And even some of the other characters that are not like as appealing to me specifically, I still get it. Like even Star-Lord has his moments as well. He's just being paid by Blizzard to bash rivals to promote Overwatch wake up sheep. Yeah, that's it exactly. Basically, it's like, I think like the DPS hero variety for rivals especially, it's really good. Like hero design in general, fantastic, Mr. Fantastic. So like Mr. Fantastic is sick, Winter Soldier is sick, Spider-Man, Magic. I think Black Panther's not as good as he should be. I won't go into the detail there, but it's like has great potential. It's just really cool, right? Really cool. Hero bands. So the really clear implement showing that hero bands can work. They do work. It's a lot of fun. People benefit from it, especially in higher ranks. Hero bands, 100%. Public replays. So this was another one. Public replays, spectating, and top 500. This is a little detail, but my goodness, is it a nice detail. Like, for example, you can look up any pro player that you want and watch the replays. Heck, you can spectate their games. And like the fact that that's a thing is just unbelievable. Like, that is actually insanity. Like, wow. It's just super cool. Like, I remember when this first happened, I was like, wait, that actually has that? It's just super unique. It's such a quality. If you want to learn a new character, it's great for content. It's great for education. It's great for like the community building. It's super cool. It's super cool. And I want to go through some. I actually never looked at this. So public replays, game tournaments. I don't know what to compare this to as much, but wait, where is this? In-game tournaments. So like they're very upfront with a like tournament system. A little bit better than Overwatch with the whole face it thing right now. Give everyone play of the game, hiding other players' stats during the match, mass res, a short video demonstration of the ability being used. Ooh, yes. Video ability demonstration for onboarding. Public statistics as well. Public win rate, pick rate statistics. That just feels like that feels like an evolution of the gaming space, and Overwatch is still stuck in the dark ages with that, to be honest with you guys. Surveys in game for currency. Hero progression. Ranked rewards, skins for ranks, ways to flex. Corliss, thank you for the sub. All right, let's get into the more subjective ones. But I do think it's worth mentioning. Max dopamine. So let's just be honest, guys. Like, we can be a snob about Overwatch, about how the way Overwatch is structured, but Marvel just has more uptime. It just has more uptime. You do more damage, you do more healing, you're involved in fights for a greater percentage of the total game. Like, straight up, it's like mobile game. Now, this is also a downside for me, and we'll get into more of why it's a downside, but you get reward for that. So if you're willing to compromise certain things and you're willing to lean into the maximum dopamine, like, basically, you talk about like the spectrum of uptime and engagement. You have like CS somewhere over here, and Marvel Rivals is in the opposite. And Overwatch is kind of in between. So we're like, people in CS probably like look down their nose at Overwatch because like, oh, it's just corny, cartoony, like you're always doing something all the time. Well, then Marvel Rivals took that and cranked that to the extreme. Like it's just maximum dopamine, always ding, 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 damage, healing, right? And I know that the way I'm framing that kind of sounds like a negative thing, and personally for me it is a negative thing, but for a lot of people, they don't like the downtime of Overwatch. They just don't like it. Like, a lot of Overwatch is waiting, setting up, staging, especially with a lot of the characters. You're not doing something all the time. One of the reasons that I got into Overwatch in the first place is because I liked instant respawns. I don't like the concept of dying and waiting. I never did, and I never will. Does that make me a brain rot Gen Z boomer? Wait, that doesn't make any sense. But you get what I'm saying? I don't think so. It's just the spectrum of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't mind waiting, but like, I don't want to be dead and then I'm just dead. I didn't play Search and Destroy when I went to friends' houses with Call of Duty back in 2010, you know? Played Team Deathmatch. Or I don't play the game at all. No thanks. So for me, there's a spectrum here, and I don't think that there is an objective metric that this is bad or this is good. This is just the way that the game is designed. Yeah, I think even the concept of team-ups, encouraging team play, I don't know that that I like Overwatch to have that, but hey, let's not pretend that there is an upside to that. Yeah, you're just constantly doing stuff, you know? So it's like, okay, sure. Team-ups or something a lot. Sorry. Okay, so, all right, so here's the other one. Third-person POV. Different perspective. Skin play. Let's be honest, guys. Third person is a huge strength of Marvel Rivals for what the game is aspiring to be. I don't want it for Overwatch. I've played third person Overwatch with the Stadium playtest. It was cool. Wouldn't want to play it as a competitive game, but it's cool. It has its own upsides. And you know the obvious unsaid thing here. So, like, that's not my preference, but let's not pretend that it doesn't have its own upsides. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So, it is what it is. Let's keep going. Yeah, also IP. Yeah, good shout. Good shout, Kay. IP, very strong. Overwatch built its IP from scratch, but Marvel Rivals it has its tools and it's using them. You got to give credit where credit is due. Let's see here. Let's keep scrolling through this. And I'm going to check the Discord in a second here. Boy, this aged poorly. No offense, Pixel. That's going to be one of the weak points. This is also a weak point, no offense. It's going to be my personal weak point. This is not objective measures. I think some of these are objective, but some of these are more from my perspective, subjectively bad. I think destructible environments, support design, not good. Ultimate's design, I think, is overall a bad thing. I know the upside of big dopamine, but I actually think it's a bad thing for me. I'm trying to find the stuff that is more like generally you can agree that it's provides some sort of value. Because even me, like, I enjoyed the dopamine maxing in short terms. Like I sit in a Winter Soldier, just mash abilities to the enemy tank. Like, yeah, I get it. Oh yeah, fast matchmaking. Again, there's downsides for that as well, but like anybody likes that. There's a cost for it, but yeah. Remind me in a second, Gecko. I don't agree with the art style one at all. I think Rivals art style is a major negative for me. This one always cracks me up. 6v6. Nothing about Marvel Rivals is due to 6v6, with the exception of there's another warm body to shoot. Everything that people loved about Overwatch 6v6 is completely irrelevant in Rivals. Completely irrelevant. There's no synergy. There's no team play. There's no coordination. It doesn't matter. Okay, let's look at Discord here. No, it doesn't count. It's not the same. We'll talk about it in a second, but 6v6 is actually Marvel Rivals is actually further away from Overwatch 2 6v6, 5v5 from Overwatch 1 6v6 than Overwatch 2 5v5 is, because there is more team play in terms of like the way that the supportive abilities than there is in Overwatch than in Rivals. There's no enabler tanks almost at all, with the exception of like Magneto. There's just 2 tanks that exist on a similar way. Okay, let's take a look here. More buttons. Okay. Bigger hero kits. I think that's a big plus for something. And I would bet the farm that Overwatch has been not changed their perspective on this, but it definitely encouraged them to keep going in that perspective. Because I know for a fact that old school Overwatch 1 freaking hated complicated kits. Jeff Kaplan, man, no, they don't know more buttons. Because the whole concept of like Genji and Hanzo, you guys might not know this, but Genji and Hanzo were the same character early in Overwatch 1 development. And they thought that the kit was too bloated, so they split it. You can't have a sword and a bow. And obviously so much has changed since then. Performance is definitely a downside. Yeah, it's on our list already. I'm looking more for positives right now. I guess we could do negatives. Performance as well. Galacta is obnoxious, but I'm going to focus more on the more systemic stuff. Bolt design is horrific. Perma battle passes. Yeah, I'm not as familiar with the monetization, so I will put that on the list, and I've heard of that, but I don't feel educated enough to comment on it. And I'm going to leave open queue and roll queue kind of out of it, because I just don't think that there's like a really clear... I don't know. You know, like some people see the lack of roll queue as a huge downside. Some see it as a huge upside. I don't think there's a really clear... Map design is a huge problem with Rivals. Let's see here. Good. We already said map design, though. I don't think I can comment on dialogue. I think Overwatch 2 dialogue is a step down from Overwatch 1, so Overwatch can't really throw stones. I think subjectively Overwatch art design is better. I just think that that's kind of my personal opinion, that it's not even particularly close. It's just so much cleaner. Marvel Rivals is so much more muddled, but I don't think dialogue is really a huge strong point across the board for either game. Actually, the OST is actually pretty good. I do agree that the OST for Rivals is pretty good. I will agree with that. I do enjoy several of the maps' soundtracks. I think Overwatch is good at that too, but it doesn't have to be. Competitive integrity is a mess. Competitive integrity is so bad, it might be the number 1 or number 2 reason why I lost interest in the game. Or soundtrack. Music. I don't know about the art style so much. People keep saying the art style, which is like fine. To me, it's just like whether it's a style or the execution, I don't know. but there's just so much more mud. Rival. There's a lot. It's not as it's much less visually. The visual clarity in Rivals is much worse, I feel like. So whatever the art style is, it's just so much harder to see what's going on. I don't know if that's the engine or the art design or the color palette or what. It's a lot harder to see. It's like if everything had a black outline, like a thin black, like penciled outline. That's the impression that I get from like thinking about it. Unreal, okay. Um, yeah, audio clutter is pretty bad. I agree. How many maps are in Overwatch for performance? I have no idea. I'm not really comparing the map release schedule. I think map releases are fine. There's like how many of them right now, and then they're releasing one every few months. That's fine. Yeah. Hey, Kenobi, how are you? Poke. I'll talk about that from like a game design perspective later on. That kind of ties into what we're talking about later. The esports being unwatchable is a consequence of another problem, if that makes sense. But you're right that esports is like the biggest manifestation of that problem. Again, just to clarify for Rivals fans in here, this is not saying that Rivals is a worse game than Overwatch. What I'm saying is for my audience, for me, this is why Marvel Rivals has fallen in my interest. And it will never replace that, and has proven again and again that it will not. Yeah. However, at the same time, it has proven that it will be a very strong contender for a different subset of an audience. It's the same thing as like everything that is good about Rivals has like a cost and benefit. And so you kind of have to be like, what one is more appealing to you? You know, the best example of being like, you know, I there's only so many times that I can play Candyland or Sorry or Uno or Apples to Apples, you know, but those games fill a really good game niche and there's a reason they're really popular, but it's just not how I enjoy games. Can it make a rise and fall of Overwatch? I don't think so, because I think that's already been done a million times. And I don't think it's particularly pertinent right now. But yeah, you would talk about PvE, you talk about the development death, you talk about 6v6, you talk about 5v5, you talk about hero design, and the absolute stinker years that we had from really 2017 all the way up to 2023, where we had 6 years of bad hero design, with the exception of maybe Echo or Junker Queen. You would talk about monetization. You would talk about the free-to-play transition. You would talk about... I mean, there's so much to talk about. Lore. Bad would also be quality of life, out of combat, heal speed, or heal. That's okay, Red Storm. I see the image of Jeff Kaplan watching Rouge Hong play Moira at BlizzCon in my nightmares. Yeah. I really hope that Jeff Kaplan is doing well. I have my suspicions about where he's landed right now. I believe that there's a Blizzard offshoot company. I know a couple of Blizzard employees have moved that to that company. I don't remember what it's called. Maybe chat can look it up. But it's a small game up-and-coming development studio. Maybe he's working with them. Maybe he's doing something entirely. Maybe he's retired. I don't know. And I wish him well for what he gave to us. You have Dreamhaven, I think, yeah. But yeah, he really I hope that he has learned from his mistakes at the same time. I just like all the vitriol from all the Overwatch burnouts who hopped on it. Yeah, we'll talk about that one a little bit. Yeah, the bot matches is horrendous. Bot matches. Characters of other fantasies. Bobby Kotick has irreversibly damaged Activision and Blizzard. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I really highly recommend you either watch my video breakdown of Play Nice, the book, or you read it yourself, because it was really enlightening for me. I don't really knew a lot about Blizzard, and I'm sure it's not the full story of things, but getting a pretty in-depth dive into Blizzard and Bobby Kotick, and also not just Bobby Kotick, but also like everything else. Like, it's a very interesting study into, you know, a corporate evolution and the baggage that I can bring along with that. Map design, we'll talk about it in a little bit. I'll probably call it here in a second because a lot of this is pretty repetitive. But you guys have done a really good job here. Yeah, it's so weird to me that we praise Overwatch support design. You know, like I think Overwatch support design is easily the worst role. Easily the worst role in Overwatch. Followed by, I think maybe even, this is going to be spicy, but DPS. But it is so much better than Rivals from the type of support that I like to play. I felt like that's why I had so much higher expectations for supports in Marvel Rivals. I think the problem with Overwatch, I think Overwatch's DPS design is like at best on par with Rivals, but probably worse. I think Overwatch or Marvel Rivals DPS design is like, especially given the context of how that game is like pretty, like you talk about like, you have Cassidy, Widow, Hanzo, Bastion, Junkrat, Reaper, Torbjorn. You know what I'm saying? Not everything is a Genji and Tracer. Now they're getting better with perks and so on, but yeah, Pharah's gotten better, but you know, Bastion's gotten better too. I look like a pineapple. Thank you. Gecko, yeah. Tom, from what I understand, from what I've heard on the street, I don't know if it was a hard rule, but I think they definitely tried to. Yes. I'm pretty sure that was something that they attempted to do. So for YouTube chat context, basically, I think for a while, Overwatch, especially early on, tried to make every support heal differently. And it was just some weird restriction. Melee characters, yes. Team ups. I will delve more into explaining my thoughts on these in a second here, but I'm gonna give everyone their opportunity to share their thoughts. Thank you, Deacon. Is that a My Little Pony profile picture? Twitch ads should be fine. It's on like 5 minutes per hour.
I have it run pretty low. But back then, a lot of TF2 content creators and players were burned out in the game, were quite happy to jump ship to Overwatch. This caused a great deal of animosity between the two gaming communities, where people who played Overwatch said that TF2 was an old relic, so people need to move on from it, and people who played it. I assume was very deeply invested in TF2 during this time. A lot of analysts was built in the fear that TF2 is becoming less relevant. Many criticisms of Overwatch at the time was that it was dumbed down, more accessible game, with the same thing happening today. I think this is true, yeah. I mean, it's the same. I'll put this even at the top here. Same cycle of TF2 to Overwatch, dumbed down, bitterness, drama, etc. Yeah. There's a really interesting point about how Overwatch has kind of evolved into its space where, from my understanding of the game, I find Overwatch's ceiling of expression exceedingly complicated and exceedingly difficult, to the point to where I find it hard to get into a lot of other games because they just don't have that level of skill expression and dynamics of choices that you can do. But, I don't think Overwatch has always been that. I think if going back to Overwatch Classic made me realize and remember how few choices that you could have, how few things, like all of the hero designs in Overwatch Classic were more pared down, fewer options, less complex. So for me personally, I'm very unoptimistic about Marvel Rivals evolution. But to be fair, that Overwatch changed over 9 years. Thank you, Grandma. So it's like it's I think it's a little bit of hubris if I'd say that Marvel Rivals couldn't grow into a game that has more complexity. I think the ceiling is there. You know, I think Rivals actually has a huge edge over Overwatch 1 in terms of base character complexity. Right? It's just that the consistency that you're able to show that, it just isn't always there. So I agree with you. They're not exactly inspiring confidence with what they've done over the last few months. I mean, just to give one very small example, is they still have not nerfed the duration of support ults. They want supports to heal bot right now. But it's only been 4 months. And we're talking about 9 years, guys. 9 years. 9 years. So, who knows? My concern would be more to do, if you want to have a real fear-mongering thing with Rivals, it's more to do with the philosophy of NetEase as a studio. And in our opinion of Activision Blizzard was, from the get-go, not completely toxic. So we have a point where Activision Blizzard started on a point of trust, got a lot worse. The game went with it. NetEase is starting from a bad position. I don't trust NetEase. A lot of people don't trust NetEase. So maybe it'll be inverse. Maybe NetEase will earn the trust. You know, it feels like Activision Blizzard has had its crash and maybe is starting to rise again, at least from my limited Overwatch perspective. You know, but so I don't know. We'll see. Oh gosh, Red Storm dropping the clip dump here. Hey, thanks, Fate. Okay. I'll give you guys like 2 or 3 more minutes, but if you're typing right now, finish what you're typing, and nobody new start typing right now, because we'll probably stop right here. This new spinal scan changes the still. It is a casual game. They're printing money, so expect no change at all, like in COD. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think when I say rise and fall of Marvel Rivals, I'm actually not really judging this off of Steam player metrics. I think like games always fall off. You know, like no game is ever going to maintain the hype. That's not a condemnation of Rivals. For me, it's more like if you are the 5%, 10% of gamers that are more serious about taking the game and progression, this is why this game isn't for you. This is kind of like, that's kind of my point here. Or this is why this game might not be for you. I think like that's the perspective. It's not to do with the player percentages, because that would be such a low-hanging fruit for you to pull up Steam charts and say, look how strong. Duh. Any game's going to have that, right? You could say that maybe because Rivals has a less competitive, dedicated, it's more casual, it can be the whims of the casual community more, which are obviously more tenuous. But I don't know if that's true either because of its IP, which is going to keep a dedicated fan base probably pretty consistently, right? You can't even look at Twitch numbers, right? Like, who cares about stream numbers, frankly? So for me, the fall of Rivals is more to do with the failure to live up to a competitive player / coach's expectation for a hero shooter that had true potential. That's why I compare Rivals with COD, yeah. That's true, the king. But but does Rivals do a better job of the role play than other games? Does the Rivals do a better job of the role play? So in other words, if I want to play Spider-Man, is there any other game that's going to give me the Spider-Man feeling as much as Rivals? That's still a PvP game. You could argue maybe some of the PS2, or not the PS2, but some of the PvE games maybe, but I don't know. So I guess from here, I'll let you, again, okay, let's finish up. I'm going to go ahead and close the channel as soon as Robbie Bobby finishes here. Competition, new character micro, cross-roll style heroes. Okay, we'll close it there. Thank you all very much. That was very helpful. Somebody squeezes in a meme. Cross-roll styles, yeah. No resource trade-off. Support tank management, immune management, not fun. Bad defense, cool. Audio feedback, I do think, is a big one here as well. But I don't know if I'm going to include that because sadly, I think I'd have to think a long and hard time and give more examples for the video that I'm not capable of doing. It's not that I don't agree with you, but I agree with you from an anecdotal standpoint, which I'm going to try to avoid as much as I can. Okay. So let's talk about this really quick here. So we've already kind of talked about the good kind of in detail here. Let me copy and paste the bad here. Bot matches, buffering abilities, that's a quality of life, surrender, cutscenes, end of game leaving nonsense. I'm going to skip all that stuff. There's just a large portion of quality of life stuff that's super annoying. Let me zoom in so you guys can see. That really annoys me. Announcer volume, highlights, click box, mouse acceleration, FPS, social friends list in game is super cancer. Custom games are really bad. Clarity between abilities is unclear. Catching ledges with mobility is really annoying. Launching OBS in admin mode doesn't work. Like, you have to even be able to stream it. Alt design leads to really frustrating ult trades. Embrace the comparison. Stop real high highs. Constant new strategic depth. Polish unique experience. Has 2 out of 3. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so basically everything here is we've already said and they're bad here. So I'm kind of looking at my old notes here. Yeah, okay, so let's talk about the bad. So we've talked a lot about the good. We've touched on some of the bad here. Let's kind of lean more into this. And I'm kind of getting my words out here so when I do record the script for this. When
Wait. Yeah. That's what it brought me back to want to play Overwatch. Yeah, I think Rivals did a really good Rivals is the best thing that could have happened to Overwatch, man. In the short term, not good, but it actually, I feel like, has inspired a lot of change in Overwatch, which is great. And it's also reminded people of why they want to play Overwatch in the first place. And it sucked some of the bitter old crotchety, burnt out 7-hour-a-day playable have been playing for like 6 years away. Get them out, man. Like legitimately get them out. I don't want them here. Some of them are my friends. Like I had a conversation with Boger about this, and he was giving some feedback to the devs, and Boger was so self-aware. He's like, yo, you know, you guys, like, it's good that you guys are getting grumps. Like he knows, like he's burned out in Overwatch, you know, like they're self-aware, you know, it's too much, you know, and that's why I've been able to kind of maintain my position with Overwatch is, you know, I get the check in the mail from Blizzard, which is great. And then also, I just don't play the game every day for 4 hours. You know, I play like 3 or 4 hours. I play more recently than I have ever. I play like 3 or 4 hours, 5-6 hours Overwatch a week. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm playing more like the average gold player. And so I'm like, hey, this game's fun. I talk about it a lot. I theory craft about it a lot. I coach it a lot. And I like the game. So... And it's also like tickles the itch. And I think that's really, again, the rise and fall. Is like for the type of game that I'm interested in, Overwatch is just kind of unbeatable. It's why I like Age of Empires 2. It's the exact same reason. Like it's just strategically prickly. There's just a lot to it. It's clean. Age of Empires 2 is like the definition of like a clean RTS game. I feel like it's old school graphics, but you can always see what's going on. There's a million different like multitasking things that you could be doing. There's a lot of complexity in terms of expression and choices. There's the dynamics. And so even though I don't play Age of Empires 2 that much, I love watching it and watching high level play because it just is so fun. So let's talk about this a little bit. Don't forget what? What am I not forgetting here? I see you quoting to somebody, but I don't know. Don't forget Alex. Yeah, Aaron, I think, has done a pretty good job. Alec, did you guys see Alec Dawson got promoted to assistant or associate game director or whatever? I haven't seen StarCraft. So yeah, okay, yeah, I hope Rivals keeps competing with Overwatch. I think it's for us. I benefit from competition. You know, like the more competition, the better. Okay, so let's elaborate on all these really quick. Shut up, Kyle. The only reason that you haven't been demoted is they don't have anybody better. You know. You know too much. So, I hope you know I made myself look like a complete jackass for you, Kyle, because everyone's like, "Why did you post that picture of Alec with a cook's hat?" I'm like, or the chef's hat. I'm like, you wouldn't get it. You wouldn't get it. So I'm like compromising my like social credit for you. So I hope you know that. Yes, I am cashing both Marvel Rivals and Blizzard checks. Yeah. Yeah, they don't get it. They don't get it. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so let's kind of elaborate on this a little bit more. No attempt to nerf support ults. Concern of confirming game design. And this is like the big one for me. I will continue to be, I think, man, this is like my parasocial side kicking in here where like, I see the Marvel Rivals devs do their like patch notes and they look like they're excited about the game and they're communicating it really well, which is crazy because they're English and Chinese and like bilingual, which is like crazy. And I don't know, they just seem so excited, man. Like they just are very, very excited about it. And I'm like, dude, these guys are gonna make a good game, man. Like, dude, they're gonna do it, man. And then I just get disappointed, you know. I'm like, we still have 12-second support ults. Like, surely, like the argument of like a support ult has to do a lot of healing to counter a DPS ultimate because the DPS ultimates are also ridiculously overtuned. You know what I'm saying? I understand that, but I guess my point is that among other things, I just haven't seen the same level of improvement, development, and admitting and correction of errors that I have seen with the maturity of the Overwatch development team.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like, oh no, this is what they want it to be. This is what it's going to be for a long time, guys. And so I look at that and I'm like, the lowest litmus test that you could possibly take and pass is, are you going to nerf support ults? Not the amount of healing, just how long it lasts. That's it. And they failed it. They failed it. And that scares me, because it's like, this isn't like quality of life detail, or maybe for example, you look at something like, okay, Venom is still a pretty brain rot tank, but reworking Venom, no, just let him be a noob tank. He doesn't have to be the best performing. He's still fun. It's really appealing to some people. Okay, that's just more personal. It's the same thing as that. It's the same standards I hold Overwatch. Like, they're gonna let Overwatch be in the dumpster, or Orisa be in the dumpster. It's fine. Like, okay, fine. Like, I don't have to die on that hill. But not nerfing support ult duration at all. At all. You had a 58%, like nothing. And that just scares me, man. It's like, among other really big ones too. And that kind of concerns me a little bit, right? Where it's like, you've not proven to me that this is the direction that you want to go for the game. So you know what? More power to you. I know there must be a good reason why they have support ults to last as long as they do. My suspicion is more shooty, because support ults last a long time, nothing dies, more uptime of damage, more things to do. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to be cynical here, but I don't see any other clear reason why, because if you pop a support ult, it's not like it needs to counter 2 damage ultimates. That's not how it works. So you just more uptime of doing things, because maybe if the support ult lasted less, fights would be over a lot faster. I don't know, but I don't like that. And I don't have to sit here and pretend that I do. Right. It's not just that they counter a damage ultimate, but they give you an advantage after the damage ultimate has already expired. And so some people like that. Some people won't even know why they like it. They're just like, oh yeah, it just feels like I'm always engaged. Just boom, 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 But no thanks, pass. So someone had a question that I missed, important one. Oh, yeah. I'm just brainstorming ideas for a script. I'm kind of like, the way that I'm trying to do things moving forward as much as I can is like have conversations, like real life conversations with you guys about my things, and kind of bounce ideas off and get ideas from you guys and then turn it into YouTube. I'm trying to do less Twitch to YouTube content, but I still want to work on things on Twitch, because I really feel the quality of my thought processes improve when I talk out loud and I get feedback from you guys, and you disagree or you put your own thoughts. Like, I really feel like it's like a group project, I feel like the quality of my prep goes a lot better. Between YouTube and so on. Revenue share, we stopped typing. Patch notes. What did I mean patch notes? I don't know what I meant by patch notes. The wording is awful in the patch notes. Well, they do better now, because they actually give you the specific things. It used to be back in alpha beta, that was one of my complaints. It's like, guys, tell me what the number is. They actually, back in alpha and beta with the patch notes, they didn't actually tell you what they changed. They'd say they want to give Strange more frontline. They would literally not tell you what the number was changed, or sometimes there was even, I believe there was some vagueness about what ability was even changed. It was so obnoxious, but I do think that that's fine now. You can skip the flowery language and get right to the text if you want to, no problem. Yeah, maybe Overwatch did the same. I wasn't around in 2016, so I don't know what they did. But yeah, I don't care. That's not really a problem for me right now. Hazard Elite changed from 5 to 6. Hey, you know what? His win rate tanked. His win rate tanked after that. So I told you guys about that patch. I'm gonna give my I told you so moment again here. I freaking told you so.
5 to 6 was a huge nerf. That's a 20% can't damage reduction, and people were still adjusting to the reduction and mitigation that he got like from the first 2 weeks. Hazard, it was a big nerf, and it was like, oh, it's not enough a nerf. I told you guys, his win rate tanked. He at pro level, behind scrims, was like the 3rd best tank. Anyway, that's unrelated.
I feel like Overwatch could learn a lot from Rivals marketing.
No, this was before perks. This was before perks. Thank you for the sub. Rivals marketing strategy. I don't know much about Rivals marketing strategy, but you might be right. Congrats on the 3 months. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah. Okay. Healing output. No passive heal. Massive damage output. Ease of DPS ults. Support ults. Inconsistency. Flank routes. Inconsistency of support mobility. Am I missing anything here? Baphomet, thank you for the sub. Am I missing anything here in terms of their game design? Okay, so let's talk about these really quick. So, big thing here. Marvel Rivals just has insane healing output. I think this is probably actually, I think these really kind of need to be paired together because in terms of priority, I think these are like the big ones, right? Like the raw healing output and the raw damage output of Rivals compared to Overwatch, I just feel is higher in both categories. I remember seeing Jeff for the first time in closed beta and being like, oh my goodness, this guy's healing spray is like, it's like 2 mercy beams in 1, right? And he's not even that strong. Like, it just is insane healing, like insane. But then at the same time, you compare that with like Moon Knight sustained DPS. You compare that with like Squirrel Girl sustained DPS. You compare that with Hela sustained DPS, Hawkeye sustained DPS, Punisher sustained DPS. Like everything in Rivals is monstrous damage. And it leads to a real question of like, could tanks even survive without that healing output? You get what I'm saying? I honestly, we had this conversation on like the whole, not the group up podcast, but what was the one with Run It Down with Avril and Frito? And there was a real question of like, actually, can they even nerf healing and tanks don't just die? I don't know. So it's like, what came first here, the chicken or the egg? The sustain output or the damage output? You know what I'm saying? Legitimately, tanks could just fold if they didn't have that level of easily accessible sustain. This is where it gets, and then I elaborate on this one. It's not just the raw frontline characters as well. You have to think about like, I don't want to say it's easier in Marvel Rivals than it would be to play like a Genji Tracer, but even flankers, like it's there's like a one-shot combo for like basically every flanker. Like there's so much output of pressure whether you're on the flanker or whether you're on the front line. Now, it's definitely easier to heal than it is to go for a combo in the back line. But I don't know. And this is before we even talk about ultimates, okay? So that's a good design choice. I think it's a design choice, I think, for dopamine. Like, I think it's just because more numbers. But I think that leads into our ult, right? So that leads into ult. It's the same thing with the ultimates are online too. So basically, the ults are also very easily accessible on DPS side of things and also do an unbelievable amount of pressure with very little bit of an investment. And crucially, not even much of a risk. There's a couple of exceptions, but for the most part, most DPS ultimates, whether they're AoE or not, are just vomit an unbelievable amount of pressure without a lot of risk and without even necessarily a lot of skill. So that means in response, you need support else that can respond in the same amount of glut sustain. I'll elaborate on this one in a second. So then we get into the details here. Okay, so then this is where we dig even deeper, okay? So these are just things that kind of make let positioning from an angle space side of things less interesting. So I've coached a lot of Marvel Rivals, and I've coached a lot of flanker characters, especially a lot of like Psylocks. I've coached a lot of Hellas. I've coached Wolverine, stuff like that. There are generally fewer positional choices than there are in Overwatch because there is no passive heal. So you get punished for taking longer paths away from your supports. Inconsistency of flank routes with map design. In other words, there are just fewer angles sometimes. And sometimes there just isn't an angle, which is very weird. That feels very 2CP early Overwatch design. I would almost go as far to say that, like, whereas I can chalk this up to a game design that doesn't click with me, right? I think I can respect that. This almost feels like just inexperienced map designers. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't see sometimes I look at maps, I'm like, I don't even know why this doesn't have a flank route. Like it just feels bad, you know? So basically when it comes to positioning, you're either a hard flanker or you don't flank any character at all. Like, so basically for a character, like you have Spider-Man, Black Panther, Psylocke, but you're either hard flanking or you're not flanking at all, essentially. And then inconsistency of support mobility. This one's really, really, really underrated because a lot of what makes support interesting to play in Overwatch and even indirectly enables your DPS to take angles in space is the fact in Overwatch that a lot of supports can keep up with DPS. People sometimes get annoyed at that. Kiriko, Moira, Lucio, freaking Mercy, right? Juno, Brigitte to an extent. That's more to less to do with her speed and more to do with the game design as a whole. I remember seeing Invisible Woman's kit and being like, "Oh, thank goodness we have like a, like something of a mobile utility." No, there just aren't the same. Isn't the same level of support mobility even with character. Like I looked at Loki. I had real aspirations. I had real expectations for Loki with the whole stealth dynamic and teleport. It's useful, but there's not really. Not really. Much more soft angles, disengage opportunities. The best that we've seen is Jeff flanking. That's probably the most that we've seen is hard flanking Jeff because he can self-sustain himself really good. In fact, the first pro Marvel Rivals video I ever did was off of a flanking Jeff plus Wolverine combo. But I don't know if that's actually that good or if it's just something that you can do. But even if it is really good, it's like the only support that can do that. You reach Celestial with flanking Jeff? Yeah. So I think Jeff is like the only support that can enable other people or enable himself to be more creative with his positioning. And I really wanted that for Invisible Woman, but it's not there. Some people were saying that maybe it is. It's not. Bummer. Yeah, and then they freaking nerf Mantis speed. Freaking nerf Mantis speed. Like, of all the things to nerf on Mantis, they nerfed her movement speed. It's like, are you for real? Like, of all the things to nerf with Mantis, they nerfed her ability to move. I'm like, come on, man. Are you kidding me? So, they have an idea of how they want supports to heal. It's a healer, not support. Okay, so this is kind of like... Hey, I'll have you guys know that Spylo said at first, at least to my knowledge, with healer, not support, support, not healer. Not that it really matters. But yeah, it is tough watching ML7 playing Loki or any other character or Luna even. Okay, so let's talk about like the Lord of the Rings Online example. I went more in detail on this one on the Run It Down podcast. But my idea is this, is like if you have really high damage, really high sustain. I've done 66 in MMOs before in a Lord of the Rings Online, which was like very, very like high healing constantly. And the way that it worked in Lord of the Rings Online, which had its own myriad of issues, was that there were burst cycles. So everything was basically unkillable until you got your burst cycle. But instead of it being a burst cycle that revolved around just an ultimate, the burst cycle revolved around synchronizing and lining up debuff windows. So you'd have like Warg Puddle, you'd have like Reaver Armor Cleave, you'd have Vital Target, which was an incoming heal debuff, which was like 50%. You'd have a Root and a Puddle, Blight it was called, which was like reduced amount of healing. And basically it was all these things that were actually pretty hard to do, with the exception of one of the range debuffs. It was like actually you could one-shot stuff, basically. And it required defensive counterplay with either defensive crowd control that had to be perfectly timed, defensive cooldowns, or an ultimate that was timed like really perfectly, right? Like these longer CDs. And it had its own shortcomings, right? Like it was definitely a little boring between cycles. Like, let's be honest here, like sustained pressure just wasn't as valuable in Lord of the Rings Online as it was in other characters. But basically it was like this lining up your one shots, right? And but it was high skill. Like the skill expression was there. I don't see that with Rivals. ESO works like that. World of Warcraft works like that. Yeah. I don't see that with Rivals. I think Rivals could be that. I think Rivals, I don't know how that would work in a first-person shooter. Maybe I'm just completely making this up. But I would be like, wow, would it be interesting if like Rivals, you had to synchronize your... Because the reason why I like that is it's because it required a coordination from multiple people. You know, so the ceiling was there. You get what I'm saying? It allowed you, if you wanted to, if you were really good, you could coordinate. You know? And I don't see that and Rivals. And I remember there was an argument of like, oh, well, you know, do you think people are going to be able to coordinate that and Marvel Rivals? Well, you don't have to. You don't have to, because think about it. It also required defensive coordination. So in other words, you didn't even have to coordinate that much. If you just used a debuff at approximately the right time, if the enemy team was also not that good, they would very often mess up their defensive cooldowns and they die anyway. So stuff died in Lord of the Rings Online 66 and low tier 66s and high tier 66s because even any sort of accidental coordination would result in people dying, right? And you know how it goes in Marvel Rivals right now. Like supports just make mistakes and people just die. That's just how it goes. But my point being is that there is something to work towards outside of basically playing for either a one shot or playing around ultimates strictly. And the reason why playing worse than playing for ults more boring is that I think only playing for ultimates is just boring. I think when you talk about debuff synchronization versus only playing for extremely long cooldowns, that's just a very... Because that also happened with Lord of the Rings as well, where there would be certain metas where the debuffs that were on shorter, medium cooldowns weren't as impactful. And so you really did only play for the 90-second cycles. And that was so boring. So boring. But if you did on 20, 30-second cycles or 35 or 40-second cycles, you could have frequent like opportunities up, you know? Yeah, this is PvP. So it's like, if you wanted to lean into the healing output, massive damage output, I think you'd have to have some sort of team play expression. But Rivals is really bad at that. Rivals doesn't really have as much utility in that aspect. Like this is kind of goes into my 6v6 thing where like they don't have the bubble swings. Like if you think about goats versus goats and Overwatch, unbelievably high offensive and defensive utility that required high level of coordination. Horrible to watch. Very, very strategically complex though. And stuff died. Like if you've ever watched like lower tier goats, stuff just freaking died. They just messed up. They just died. So I don't know. Like I'm not. It's hard. I think also it's just like the ults and Rivals are so much less interesting, so that it doesn't feel visually. It doesn't tell a good story as much. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah. Sustained pressure is not as good. Synchronization, there aren't as much offensive and defense. It's a lot of it just plays on ultimates. Yeah. So then I guess falling back of that, confirming our problems here. They're not changing this. They're not changing this. Like, I don't think this is going to change. I mean, you even see that recently with like, you know, Black Panther and Spider-Man, and like they just, how do you balance around those characters with supports that are brain rot? Like, that's part of a much larger discussion, but rival support heroes are really easy to play, really easy to get value out of, and you also boost yourself because if you pick a support character, then you're automatically doing better than, you know, a certain percentage of the lobby. But I mean, I remember picking Mantis and Grandmaster 3 GM2 lobbies on season 0 and just server adminning. I didn't lose a game. And so, you know, playing Black Panther in the same situation, sometimes it just felt impossible versus any support that had a brain. Ultron's leaked in-game kit. His ult is another brain rot support. Is he support? Ultron's a support? So, you know, again, like you talk about the old school Overwatch, same problem as old school Overwatch, where everyone used to cry about like Genji Tracers dominating the lobby as they're playing Mercy Moira. And then they cater to the lower skill community, and you're putting in less effort and getting more reward. And so you chain these support players along, and it's not just support players. There's also a lot of lower skill DPS characters as well. And, you know, you go from there. You know, I don't think there's a very clear answer as to that. It is tricky, but it's the same exact problem that Overwatch had. You know? Let's keep going here. Wasted hero designs, failed hero designs, couldn't live up to expectations, tank support versus DPS design gap. I guess this would be a natural point to segue here, is talking about this. Sorry for the motorcycle. Higher skill ceiling is the appeal, but the problem is that you don't get the same amount of value for it, right? Like, I think that's different now than it used to be, despite what people will tell you. Like, Genji Tracer has been like performing relatively well for quite a long time, which is really nice. But the problem would be like, you're just, the supports are so much better than you, and easier DPS are so much better than you. No, we haven't brought up rank inflation. We'll talk about it in a little bit. So basically, tank support versus DPS design gap. In Rivals, I think the amount of different skill expressions in terms of the different flankers that you have is just immense. I think flanker, poke, melee, the melee characters especially being the really big one that stands out. There's so many different like range signatures, different kit aspects, dynamics, complicated ways of expressing yourself. And it's just, despite its limitations in terms of how the base game is designed, it's still like really fun. Like, I don't consider myself even a DPS main necessarily until I played Rivals. I was mainly a support player and partly tank player in Overwatch. I get into Rivals, I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want to play DPS all the time. Like, I talked about this, like my top 5 freaking favorite characters are pretty much all damage characters. And you could expand that to like top 15 and it would be basically all damage characters, almost without exception. And that is like weird. That's a good and a bad thing, because the bad thing for me is that either the tanks are really niche like really strange, like Hulk, really freaking hard. Penny, really weird, really different, which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, right? Or just really kind of like you do shoot poke frontline for 6 years. Groot, pretty repetitive. Magneto, pretty repetitive in terms of how they position and how they function. Cooldown management, yep, but fairly repetitive. Doctor Strange, very repetitive. A lot of what I've seen, I didn't play the thing, but I watched a lot of the thing from high level play. It's just kind of the straight up frontline trade thing. It feels like the worst aspect of Overwatch tank design, like watching Malga versus Ramatra versus Orisa, right? But without the Winstons, without the Doomfists, you know what I'm saying? The thing, guys. And I think even Thor, right? Like I know I was very critical of Thor, and a lot of people freaked out over that one. At least there's something kind of unique. Like he's definitely unique in that aspect. So I personally don't enjoy him, but I understand. So I don't know. Like I think tank is, you know, it's not great. I don't think, to be honest with you guys. I think Cap is great. I think Cap is just a victim of his own. Cap suffers from game design. Cap is a great example of a Mr. Fantastic, where I actually think the character has like immense potential, but just it's rivals. You can't do anything. I don't know. I haven't kitten. Like with the thing with Cap is like, dude, there's so many different things that you can do, but you just don't do anything. Yeah, Venom was really appealing to me at first, and I was like, oh, literally 2 games in, I'm like, okay, that's it. That's the entire character. There's no sense of like, oh, I can do this. No, that's it. That's all there is to it. Yeah, Captiste, I say. Oh my gosh, brain rot. Captain America in Overwatch would be amazing. Captain is a great example. I wouldn't even say character mismanagement. Maybe character mismanagement is what you mean by like, it's a good character in a game that doesn't fit him. You know? And just a lot of the things just kind of live. You know, you hold the front line and it's a lot of dopamine. And I think a lot of the reasons why people like characters like Doctor Strange and to a lesser extent Magneto, Groot, Thing, if I'm being perfectly honest, having studied a lot of high-level play and played a lot of tank myself, the reason why people like it is because there's just a lot of dopamine. You're just doing stuff and you're doing a lot of it. Even Venom. You know? You just kind of do stuff for a long time, but it doesn't really mean anything. Strange has like 100% basically uptime. Papa Whoopie, thank you very much for the sub. But it's just permanently involved, but nothing happens. And I think support's even worse. Thank you for the prime. I think support's even worse. I think support is, with maybe exception of situational Jeff, everyone's like, oh, no. Loki's just as bad as him. Loki, Luna, Mantis, where am I going? Invisible Woman. You just heal. And you just heal more, and you heal more. I looked at an Invisible Woman, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, okay, then we'll go into failed designs here. Or we'll go into wasted designs. I don't think failed designs, but like I would say wasted designs. Let's list it. Cap, Mr. Fantastic, Winter Soldier, Spider-Man, controversial, I get it. Black Panther, Magic, who else, chat? Invisible Woman. Like, you look at these and you're like, I mean, even Mantis herself, like, I don't like the way her sleep works, but like whole resource management for healing is kind of interesting. Like, it doesn't work. Like, you have all this utility with Invisible Woman. When they showed her playtest, or not the playtest, the trailer, I was like, ooh. That looks cool. I love the little suck slow thing, and then the boop or pull, like choosing, like, oh my gosh, like that's cool. And then you don't do anything with it. You don't do anything with it. And when I say wasted designs, some of these are still okay. Like Winter Soldier has some limitations. We'll talk about that in a second. Magic is probably okay. She still seems like she's able to, because she has her one-shot combos. Like, that's the thing, is you basically have to have a one-shot combo to function. But Winter Soldier is an example of a character that ends up kind of just being a frontline brawler because sustain is so strong, the maps are so open, destructible environment, there's no auto combat healing, and because your uppercut is on such a long cooldown, you're not allowed to flank ever with Winter Soldier. Basically ever. Like, not even... like, really? Ever? Never? Like, I'm never. Like, I'm never allowed... Like, never? You're clearly biased and haven't played enough support Marvel Rivals. I'm sorry, mate. I'm sorry that you think that. I honestly don't think that you can, in good conscience, honestly look at low-level, mid-level, or high-level support play for 95% of the support cast and tell me that that is dynamic, interesting, and offensive, defensive. It's healing. Now, that you're allowed to like that if that's interesting to you. Absolutely. There's a lot of skill in support expression and Marvel Rivals, mostly due to around the timing of your defensive cooldowns and your ultimates, but it is not what I find and a lot of other people would find appealing. And again, when we're talking about the fall of Marvel Rivals, it's not the overall performance of the game for the large, but for my specific subset of what I find engaging in the game. It's just not dynamic. It just isn't. I think Mr. Fantastic is a fantastic example of a wasted design for me, because he just is a lot like Captain America, where he is this tank support DPS hybrid utility, a lot of fun choices, but you just don't feel the impact. You can't do anything that has any permanent impact. I was surprised at how much I actually liked Mr. Fantastic when I liked him playing it. And for me, that was it. Like, I wanted to like him so badly, it just didn't click. Black Panther, same thing. I go for my my combo, I get countered by somebody that's turning on their monitor for half the effort, and then that's basically it. I play more Black Panther than did any other character in the alpha and beta. So it seems like I think it's actually legitimately fantastic hero design. I think if you look at these in isolation, Rivals is just as good as Overwatch when it comes to some of their hero designs, especially given the number of heroes that are out. It's crazy. It's so good, and that's what makes it so infuriating, because it just doesn't feel like they could ever work. Imagine a magic-like character in Overwatch. Imagine a support character with Invisible Woman's utility in Overwatch. Imagine a Black Panther or Spider-Man in Overwatch. Maybe too broken, but yeah. Winter Soldier, I would pay money for a Winter Soldier in Overwatch. Like Cassidy with that sort of dynamics with his kit is utility. Mr. Fantastic. Yeah. I get that there's controversial around Spider-Man, like with how quick he is. Yeah. But yeah, even Cloak and Daggers, like a good call on Cloak and Dagger. Like, I thought Cloak and Dagger had potential in terms of like their like, like utility design, like, but I think they just buffed their healing recently. I'm like, oh my gosh. I just don't know, man. So, oh well. It's a numbers problem that doesn't have an easy solution, because it feels like the numbers are cooked into the system itself. And I think for me, this is where my personal, you guys can definitely see my personal preference kind of leaking out here, where I find the most fun aspects of games are the dynamics of expression. In other words, the different choices that characters can make. Whereas with Rivals, it feels like a lot of those choices are compressed. And also this positioning having dynamics, not just kit dynamics, but positioning dynamics, either from the map or from the kit or from the game design, where I find positioning in Marvel Rivals to be so much more boring because of the limitations of not only the map, but the punishing, the inability to punch through healing. You know what I'm saying? We're kind of discussing some of the competitive struggles. We talked a lot about the good of Rivals earlier. Now we're kind of talking about the bad. So it's just difficult. It's very difficult. I'm going to delete this because I think that's kind of something we already talked into. And it just seems like that's a design choice. So then I think from there, I think the next thing we should go into is team play. It's not 6v6 as much. Maybe I don't put into this as much. Like, my impression from Rivals is outside of team ups, which honestly only a couple of the team ups actually feel like team play. I don't feel as much coordination as I did in like Overwatch 1 6v6. Yeah, we already looked at the Discord channel. Like, I don't feel the Suzu speed boost bubble matrix harmony stuff. Like, I guess technically there are there, but even though it is 6v6, I don't feel as much of it there. But I'm not sure if I'm going to include this point because this one feels a little tenuous for me. I might be grasping at straws. It might just be a gut feeling. It might not actually be based in fact. It feels like a lot of people went into Rivals expecting Overwatch 1 6v6 and they just didn't get it. Especially coming off of 6v6 Overwatch, which I played a lot of, like freaking 50 hours over a couple of months. It felt like there were a lot more to it. Like, what tank synergies are there aside from bubble? Like, what utility does Strange provide? Because everyone's like, well, you could do this while you do this, but that you can make that argument around anything. Where are the matrices? Where are the Zarya bubbles is the obvious one, right? I think, to be fair, Overwatch has also moved away from this as well. Right? So, like, this isn't Overwatch 2 versus Marvel Rivals. This is a replacement for the old Overwatch 1, and I don't think it does that. Hulk bubble. So this is where I feel like it's tenuous. This is why I'm probably not going to include this point in the discussion. Yeah, maybe it's like the tank, the combos. But you technically still have like Groot ult and Doctor Strange ult, and you have like, I guess, Rocket ult, you know, and yeah, I know people complain about like some of the Matrix and Bubbles things. I agree with you. But like, if that is the peaks of your enjoyment, where something that you enjoy with, then that's, yeah. I guess this kind of goes back to my whole Lord of the Rings online thing. So maybe I don't need to include that because I can kind of elaborate more on it there, where it's like having a lot of utility that you can share was a very valuable aspect of that team game. And that is something that Rivals doesn't really have. Yeah, like Luna damage boost feels a little bit more of a kind of do it and forget about it kind of a moment. And I think the team ups are like a wasted opportunity that aren't really all that interesting. Like, how many useful team ups are there? Wolverine, Hulk, Winter Soldier, Punisher, and Rocket. That one is like, you know, takes active participation. I mean, are there other good team ups? Seriously. Like Wolverine, Hulk, Punisher, Rocket. It's not. I'm not asking. Are they important? Are they fun? Are they interesting? Because I think even like Magneto, Scarlet Witch is kind of a miss. Because he just gets an extra button. It's freaking fun as Magneto, but what does Scarlet Witch get out of it? They're all just passive buffs or free buttons. Seriously, is there any perk besides these two that allow for active participation between both parties? Is that possible besides those two? I honestly don't. Yeah, are there? There has to be. What's Storm and Johnny? I haven't done that one as much. Is that the ultimate one, the Firestorm? Right. So Johnny Storm, yeah. The Firestorm one. The Adam Mantis Star-Lord one. Is that the Res one? What's the symbiote one? Yeah, what's the symbiote one? Penny Venom? What's that one? Would Black Widow not be classified as a wasted hero design? Maybe. I mean, she's not bad for a sniper, I will say. All things considered. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. But does Penny get anything out of it? Does it like... I actually don't know. Does Penny get anything out of the symbiote? Or no, so does Venom get anything out of it? I'm sorry. Yeah, the Hulk Iron Man one is like the worst, like the absolute worst. They nerfed it a couple, 2 patches ago, I think, but it is terrible. Yeah, see, Venom doesn't get anything out of it. Like, you know, it's like the concept's there, but like, let's be honest, guys, it doesn't do it. Okay, so then like from there we can kind of talk about map design. I'll briefly touch on it, but like it's cluttered, high risk of destructible interactive environments. I don't like these personally. That's going to be something that, but I don't. Some people will, some people won't. I will bring it up as a negative for me, but I don't think it's like. But for me, it's the dead ends, chokes, etc. I mean, it's a mess. It's a mess. I had a big discussion with art design team lead, Dan, for Overwatch on Spylo, etc. Exclamation mark Spylo 3. And it's not monetized. You can watch it. There's no ads. There's no nothing. And he talked a lot about how they use lighting to encourage people to go in different directions and kind of like provide information intuitively. And that gave me a lot of respect for like kind of how they've evolved from things. But I do think Rivals is kind of starting from scratch. Like their map design is really just poor. Dead ends, doesn't go anywhere. High grounds that are just a little too high for a lot of characters that have certain mobility. I don't like the concept of destructible environments because the amount of cool moments that it creates versus the amount of cool moments it annoys. The rebuilding aspect is really frustrating. The symbiote / fire, just all of a sudden things start falling from the sky and exploding. Okay, that's part of the theme, I guess. That stuff feels more like thematic and like a PvE raid environment, but it just feels odd in PvP. I don't like it, whatever. But there just aren't a lot of spots where there just isn't a good angle. Yeah. So I think people, I actually don't hate Rivals for trying it, to be honest with you guys. Like, I'm like, you know what? Sure, high risk, high reward, go for it. But I think there's a lot of things that they could have done to there just wasn't any reason for it to be like that. There just was no reason for it to be like that. There's no reason for it to be like that. Like, you can have your destructible environments, you can have your interactive environments and enjoy them, but you can have good map design along with that at the same time, and they just haven't done that. And I think this one requires a lot more in-the-moment demonstration. I do think for this video, I'll need to, like, actually go and map and record some stuff and show, like, I could literally go, this is bad, this is bad, this is why, this is bad, this is bad, this is why, and this is why. So, yeah. We're getting as Overwatch is a better technical game, and Rivals is more fun to play for some obscure unknown. No, it's not obscure and unknown. I think Rivals is a lot more fun from a casual standpoint because of how accessible big moments are and how dopamine intensive it is. Like how much of your uptime compared to Overwatch. There's just more uptime, way more uptime. Will this be a VOD on the channel? Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna record, take all these notes that I'm typing up and type it up. Yeah, no. Okay. I think this leads into performance. I mean, it's just performance. It's per second, lag, tech issues, etc. It's just constant. Like I've had so many issues with it, and I have a pretty high powered computer. Frames drops, doesn't work with streaming, doesn't work with recording, alt tabbing, audio issues, whatever. Why is uptime new player friendly? Because you don't play CS:GO, choose your weapon, die instantly, and wait 3 minutes. and then die instantly and wait 3 minutes. Overwatch is not like that, but you log into Overwatch for the first couple of times, you die a lot. You get punished, you get overwhelmed, you don't even know what that ability does. You can't understand what's happening on your screen. With Rivals, you can kind of just shoot what's in front of you. You can just heal what's in front of you and just kind of chill. And once you get over the initial hump of learning, you are engaged. Team fights just last longer. Yeah, I read YouTube chat. Thank you, Daily Memes. So, this kind of goes without saying. This has been well documented. I think ult design we kind of already talked about here. I don't think we need to include it. I think it's kind of repetitive. Competitive integrity, rank inflation, negative win rates, fear of EOMM. We won't talk about this one as much. I have a whole video on this already, but basically, it's just NetEase is just invested in making you play the game for longer, whether the game is fair or not. Rank inflation is very well documented. In other words, the more that you play, you can rank up even with negative win rates. That means that basically in Overwatch terms, there will be diamond players in Grandmaster lobbies. There will be platinum players in Masters lobbies if they have played enough. So what that means is you may go into a Masters lobby with a literal platinum player on either your team or the enemy team, which means that the map output is really inconsistent, more so than it should be in a 6v6 environment. In terms of engagement optimized matchmaking, there's some theory crafting, like I don't know if it's true or not about like, oh, you log in, you're more likely to get good games earlier on that are more favored to win. I don't know anything about that. That's just conjecture. But we do know that negative win rates, there is rank inflation, and there's even stuff like performance-based SR, so stat farming. I wonder how many of these, like, you guys seen all these like Rocket Raccoon mains and like Grandmaster that do like how many of those are just because Rocket farms healing stats so much? You get what I'm saying? Well, the rank resets doesn't fix that. Rank resets just means that rank resets doesn't address. I don't understand why people think that. Like, let me kind of clarify. Think about it for just a second. How would a rank reset fix that? Everyone goes back to gold. Now, all the Grandmaster players in Gold 1, it's the exact same situation, right? We're still playing with the gold players in the flat players, and then everyone ranks back up again. It's the same exact situation where they just climb right back again. So like it doesn't fix it at all, so yeah, it makes it even more chaotic. I mean, you guys have been playing Overwatch recently with the rank reset, right? It's a mess right now in Overwatch. It's it gets better with time. Thank goodness Overwatch doesn't do rank resets very often. I'm a huge enemy of rank resets. So just rinse and repeats. So this is how it is, and this is like my own, like, I'm not going to talk about it as much, but like rank inflation is it is going back to the old days where people just you play more, you get more. That's it. You get more, you play more, you get more. Like it is not a meritocracy at all. It is not a meritocracy at all. You just show up more and you get, that's it. Even if you're not a better player, even if you waste your time, even if you screw around, even if you turn your brain off, even if you're a more skilled player, nope, you got to grind for it. It's very similar to like what MMOs do. We'll put maybe a little note there where like if you guys have played MMOs, a lot of the gearing for MMOs is very like grind focused, especially like in like the last 10, 15 years, where it's not you get the best gear from playing the hardest raids or the hardest content. You get the best gear by grinding the brain dead stuff longer than everybody else. So you will play in a PvP. This is really dangerous in a PvP thing because in MMOs, you will lose to lesser skilled players because they have better gear than you because they grinded longer than you. So there's not it doesn't increase the meritocracy. Whereas in this game, there's no gearing, but you will be lower ranked than somebody else who is significantly worse than you because they have grinded the game for way more hours than you. Yeah. So it's, I think, really freaky, like scary, like NetEase MMO mobile gaming mindset that is basically, that is the definition of engagement optimized matchmaking, whether they have the whole rewarding you for logging in. It's the whole concept of that we want you to play more, because the longer you're in game, the more money you spend on skins. So we're going to make you feel like you have a sense of progression, even if you're losing more than you're winning, because we want to keep you playing. Now, there's opportunity cost for that, because people like me are not going to play your game anymore, because guys, I went 56-3 and lost a game. My entire team was negative. And this was in Diamond. I have never seen that in any game, ever. My team was negative. All of my teammates were negative. I was 56-3. I was spawn camping 2 or 3 people on Winter Soldier. And I've never seen that before. And I've never seen 45% win rate people in Grandmaster. That just, and that to me, this along with, I think, the healing damage output thing that's reminding me of my old MMOs those are like the 2 reasons. Like everything else is kind of like annoying for sure, like map design, performance, team up opportunities, ult design. Like it's those 2 things that like means I don't want to coach it. I don't want to play it, and I don't want to coach it. As an opportunity to humble brag, yeah, but you know what? I guarantee those players were silver, or the equivalent of. So I don't, as somebody that is interested in competitive integrity, and by the way, the reason why I'm so upset and angry about this is, guys, we cannot let this happen in Overwatch. This is not in Overwatch right now, we know, but we cannot let this happen in Overwatch. If this happens in Overwatch right now, in terms of not like the rank inflation, negative win rates in Grandmaster, dilution, freaking bot matches in quick play, no. And I'm scared, guys. Like, I'm scared because I don't like the way the gaming space is like evolving right now, where it just, like we talked about this with like the AI stuff and like the algorithmic based entertainment that we have here. It spooks me out, man. Yeah, there's bot matches in quick play. Yeah, and Marvel Rivals. Bot matches are gone in Marvel Rivals? Based off of what? That's actually really good news. I want to make sure that can you guys have any information as to that? I don't think you can remove one-sided matches in competitive games. That's impossible. Even in balanced games. I've been around a long time to know that's not the case. You can't. It's just the nature of team games. The 56-3 was an extreme example. And I checked the counts there, and that was the real concern. I had the negative win rate teams on my players on my team. And that will always be the case. You can tell there's a bot because you can see how they play, and then you can add them on friends afterwards, and they don't exist. Okay, last one, and this one's going to be more niche, more of a social commentary on this. And this is actually not directed towards Rivals, the developers, the game designers, or anything at all. And this is not even necessarily directed towards, in an antagonistic way, towards the community. This really goes back to the TF2 comment that one of the Discord folks said, which is Rivals could never live up to its own expectations, for where you go in and you expect it's going to do everything better than Overwatch. I remember I mentioned already, there's so many videos of like it does literally everything better than Overwatch. Basically, Rivals was built off of hyperbole. And in terms of community expectations, hyperbole built community expectation, build on emotion, hyperbole. People could not have any sort of nuanced approach in this game. I still get it today because there was so much anger directed, anger at Overwatch, deserved anger towards Overwatch and the leadership at Activision. And so anything that wasn't that was okay. It was like you guys ever have like a like it's like a bounce back, you know, in terms of like your ex, you know? It's really weird. And so, you know, it was earned. Like a lot of like from like 2018 to 2022, Overwatch just failed. It just failed. But what it basically meant is that in the same way that one of my commenters described that, like how TF2 kind of like radicalized a lot of people against Overwatch, you know, it's the casual game, and vice versa. Oh, you hate those stupid old TF2 devs. I mean, TF2, from my understanding, development also died as well. Yeah, Marvel Rivals is your rebound. And so what it leads to is like, not only does it compromise Marvel Rivals' ability to learn and critique and grow, but it almost felt like political. Like if you spent any time in the social media headspace, Reddit, Twitter, anything at all, the hatred between Marvel Rivals and Overwatch is straight up political. And I'm not talking about like literally like conservative versus liberal or American politics. I'm talking it is to a political fervor, which is obviously like really hilarious given like the current, you know, political headspace we're in right now, where everything feels political, whether it's not or not. But it's straight out toxic. Straight up toxic. To the point to where you cannot have an opinion about this game, even phrased with nuance or, you know, or respectfully, without somebody ripping your head off. And by the way, that goes both ways. That goes both ways. It's really easy to direct hatred towards Rivals right now because that was the initial obvious low-hanging fruit. A lot of morons on Twitter and Reddit like, oh, better than Overwatch, just really lazy, right? Anybody that had played Overwatch knew that those people were just complete brain-dead Neanderthals, right? And I don't even think that's even an argument. However, it wasn't just that. Here's a little good example for you guys. You guys want to see a little bit of nuance here with my stance on this? Check this one out. So this is a little while ago, but I'm going to show it to you guys real fast. Check this out. So this is the competitive subreddit. This is about 2 weeks ago. Naga, Kaya, Isaac, and other leads Overwatch for Rivals. We got Kaya, who's maybe the greatest Junkrat player, certainly top 2 or 3 in the last 4 or 5 years, competed in contenders. Phenomenal player. Kaiser, Vale, Naga was an Overwatch League player and did amazingly well in contenders. Crook, another contenders support player. Suji, who helped coach one of the top OWCS teams, worked with London Spitfire coaching staff. These are big names here, okay? Like, they're not like the best, but these are like B-tier pro players. They've been around for a long time in contenders and so on. You know, contenders OWCS is like a lot, like it's Overwatch esports is a lot smaller. You know, if you're not S tier, the game's probably not going to be sustainable. And so you should probably move on to the 8 to Rivals, where you're going to be more appreciated. Yeah. So, okay. So, nice. Okay. Whatever. I'm trying to see where some of the comments here. Where's some Sparker as well? It's better now. Here we go. Whatever will Overwatch do without the godlike presence of someone? People just straight up admitting. Basically, I'm not going to go through all of them right now. But basically, there's just like so many passive aggressive, toxic comments in there from clearly bitter Overwatch fans. Okay, Rivals, morons, there they go. Good riddance. Who are you? Okay, buddy. Okay. All right, I see how it is. And it's like this, the Overwatch has like this superiority complex that, yeah, we're better than those idiots. What up? You know, whatever, you know? And they do the exact same moronic behavior. And it's like, bro, you've known these guys for years. You're in the competitive Overwatch subreddit. Okay, this isn't r/Overwatch with 5K diva bombs. You get what I'm saying? And my point being is that like this isn't like a war crime. I'm not crying over this. The pro players aren't crying over it either. But it's like, hey, I thought that we were better than this, guys. I thought that we were immune. We were exempt from that level of bias and bitterness. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. That's just a tiny, tiny little example. There's that kind of stuff all over the place. Used to be a lot worse. And my point is both sides do it. It's like, come on, man. It's just childish. It's petulant is what it is. And you can have your own opinions about, Rivals esports, Overwatch esports, and the game design as a whole. But it just really goes to show that so much of this discussion is so polluted with emotional, with emotion and emotional responses that it's honestly kind of a tragedy. And it's a really good a good reminder for like everyone right now, like whether it's politics or sports or anything else that you do, don't be counterculture, guys. Don't be counterculture. Okay? Just because there's flaws in a certain subset of systems or belief systems or a game doesn't mean that the opposite is the healthiest perspective or the opposite is true. And trust me, I know how it feels, okay? So when I first got into doing some Rivals content, I made criticisms about things that they could be doing better. I did a couple of Overwatch videos interspersed throughout that because I really want to try. And I got so much toxicity. I talked about it already in a video a couple months ago. I got like several death threats, several other things that I'll mention. There was some horrific comments from the Rivals community, not to mention the glut of toxicity that just infinitely went up because I had something to do with Overwatch in my name. But you can't like let that poison the well, You have to try, because it's not just fair to it's not just unfair to the Rivals community to hold them accountable for just that, but it's also unfair to yourself. Like if I had bought into that and not liked Rivals because of that exclusively, then I would have missed a lot of fun and a lot of learning. And I think that's like you can't like it. We're not immune to bias by any means, but you have to try to be aware that that's the case and try to fight it. And just look at something from its merits alone. Because again, if this is at all similar to what Overwatch and TF2 went through, imagine how much TF2 players would have missed out for not trying Overwatch. So, were they toxic because you're an Overwatch creator doing Marvel Rivals videos? Yes, but also they're toxic because I had one video in particular. I did a hero design video on Thor, which people didn't like, which was fine. But then I also criticized tank and support design, and people kind of went nuts. And I did a couple of tweets about talking about like matchmaking stuff and this and that. Yeah, but you see how I appreciate what you're saying, Pot of Weed. I feel like most Overwatch fans' anger comes in response to rival players attacking Overwatch first. For example, all the tweets attacking Overwatch out of nowhere. Yeah, but do you see how petulant that is? This isn't a physical attack. You're not defending your home from a home invasion. It's a game. Who cares? The type of people that are going to actually care about your logical response to rivals are not the type of people. It's like, why would you let that ruin your day? I understand what you're saying. But who cares who started it? It's not, I understand that we all have like this inner sense of like justice where we have to feel like we got to fight back. And trust me, I have done that to an extent. I am not immune. I'm not sitting here and be like, you guys need to be like me. I have done a couple of things here where there was like some bitterness that kind of leaked out. All right. I am far from perfect on that front. Yeah, we have to at least and this is the Marvel Rivals players watching me right now and the Overwatch players watching me and the people that do both. We have to try and do a little bit better with that, not just because we have to love each other and hug, but also because it's just better for the gaming community, right? It's better to give legitimate criticisms for both games that doesn't feel like we've poisoned the well. Like we have to be willing to listen to Overwatch players about what Rivals can be doing better and vice versa. We have to be open to ideas and because when you constrict, especially over something, people aren't dying, man. This isn't like some crazy political thing. This is a game, right? If we can't Like, this is exactly what I was talking about earlier, where I felt like so many of my Rivals criticisms early on fell on deaf ears because, oh, Rivals. Dude, even my support for hero bans in Overwatch fell on deaf ears because Overwatch players were like, oh, it's Rivals does it. It must be bad. You get what I'm saying? So it cut both ways. And I was like, guys, can we just like look at bans from a band's perspective? Can we just look at, you know? Phenomenal. You see chat, YouTube chat. Do you see what I'm talking about? First off, I got Grandmaster Season 0 with a 60% win rate, and I've played over 120 hours of Rivals between Alpha, Beta, and Live. All right? And I've coached it for like another 40, which is all in not that much. Yes, that is true. But do you see YouTube chat what I'm talking about? Now, I'm not bothered by it. I'm used to it. There's going to be this certain person out of it, and I wish you well, and I hope they. But that's you can't let that bother you. You know, it happens in Overwatch too. There's just as many people in Overwatch too. I got the freaking Sombra, some people in the Sombra community that want my head because they saw one video where I said Sombra wasn't a very healthy design. You know, they got their shooters out. You know what I'm saying? You know, so it's not just Rivals fans. It's not Rivals fans. You know, so yeah, you can DM me as Taco Cat. Yes, I might not get to you. So gaming tribalism is not going anywhere soon. I'm going to live and I'm going to die one day, and this video will go into the depths of time and nobody's going to remember it. But if I can do my little part for the few years that I'm around, for the little couple of hundred people that hear my voice, that improve your experience and improve the little gaming community as a whole, I'll do my part. I'll pick up my trash can on the side of my trash on the side of the road, knowing that in the end, the impact is low, but it's still the right thing to do, you know? So who cares? You know, I'm not going to change the world with my perspective on gaming, okay? But if I can make y'all's experience a little bit better and my experience a little better, it's worth doing. The few years you have left, yeah, Silas diagnosis, yeah. So who cares? You know, I'm not changing human nature in this, but like I'm not doing this to change human nature. I'm not fighting the impossible here. But I think it's worth it. Is this going to get uploaded? Not this particular discussion, I don't think. But yeah, this script here, we're going to try and type it up. So, and Rivals, you know what? Rivals was freaking amazing because it taught me more about game design. I learned that I was wrong about certain things. I learned the value of uptime. I learned the value of expansive kits. I learned the value of, I not just learned, but it was enhanced the value of hero bans. I learned how much fun melee and mobile characters are just always fun. It learn all the little details it does here, which we talked about. And I hope it continues to do well. I hope that it evolves, not in the same way that Overwatch does, but that I hope that if it does lean into the very high damage heal sustain, it does more of the synergy timing of the debuffs and so on. Like that would be cool. Maybe there's a different direction of evolution that I don't know yet. I'm going to continue to keep an eye on Rivals, but basically today's discussion is more along the lines of not just prepping for this video, but kind of like an FYI to my YouTube and Twitch community. If you don't see as much Rivals stuff moving forward, this is why. I didn't really chase the bag with Rivals when it came to a lot of the team opportunities and content opportunities. I was more interested in Rivals from like a casual standpoint and like learning the game design, coaching it when and where I can. And I enjoyed it, but I don't see it being something that is as just because of what I enjoy in games. So thank you, YouTube, Twitch, and Discord for your help with this discussion. We'll maybe crop this all up and maybe kind of clarify it all out. I did remove the glass. That's true. That is true, actually. We did remove the glass. We did remove the glass, guys. We did that. We did something good. Yeah, I probably will stream a little bit Nodlin of pickup games. Chad, I gotta go tinkles really fast. I'll be right back, and then we're gonna do some pickup games. I'll stream at least a couple of the games here. But yeah, if you ever want to go back and watch stream VODs, it's on. I'm streaming on YouTube right now. The live VODs are there. I've been trying to add some timestamps to it recently, so it's like approximately there. but the false propnesses on the baldness. Yeah, I'll probably still do Rivals coaching, but it will be done with the asterisks of like, I mean, it's always been the asterisks of like, I don't know all the characters as micro as well, so please let me know ahead of time what character you're getting coached on so that I can study up, which has overall been okay. Shut the frick up, Kyle. No, I think PUGs is now. Yeah, so I will be doing Rivals coaching as I'm doing it right now, but I'm not going to be publicly advertising it. It's going to be, if you want it, you message me. I'll give you the disclaimer of like, yeah, but, you know. Because I still feel like there's like not near enough educational content out there for Rivals of like the fundamentals of first-person shooters and angle control, map control, even if it isn't flank control, you know, and cooldown cycling and range management. But yeah. Okay, I'll be right back. How much is Rivals coaching? It's the same, and just book it on the website as you would with like any other coaching. Ugh. I washed my hands, man. Don't like Rivals because you complain with your low specs. Yeah, she's sound asleep. Proof? I mean, they're wet. I don't know if you can see the moisture. Yeah, see, there's a little drop there. Oh, it's so weird. This is the first time I put on headphones with this haircut. It's like naked. I can like pop it a little tighter here. I did not spend the minimum of 30 seconds. That is true. I will admit that. I did. I will admit that. Fit with no hair? I mean, would they even stay on at all? It's a real dangerous there, you know. Okay, is this not a low taper fade? Is it not cropped down? I don't really know what a low taper fade is. How much hair did you have before the cut? You'll have to go back and stream. I'll show you how much I had really quick before we jump in. You guys will see how much hair I had prior to the cut. Here's a couple of images here. Okay, so here is like here. And then here. That's what we were working with, my friends. I had some experience with the Rivals first came out, didn't understand much, even when Mr. Fantastic was released. Makes sense, phenomenal. Makes sense. Okay, look, guys. It was just a tinkle, okay? I'm not having this conversation with you guys. I'm not having a conversation with you guys. Like, I'm just not having this conversation with you guys. I'm not having this conversation with you guys. I'm going to change the game. I got to change the game category in YouTube as well. Frick, man. Being a streamer, so many things to manage. YouTube. I got to edit the game in YouTube. Yeah, I think Mr. Fantastic is pretty cool. I liked Mr. Fantastic more than I thought he would. Wait, come on. My scroll wheel doesn't work still. Okay, Overwatch. Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm working on it, guys. Working on it. Somewhat. Ah, no. Okay. Yeah, Twitch chat. Yeah, exactly. YouTube chat is so much more mature than Twitch chat. Am I right? Does the PUGs command work? Yeah, okay. Okay, thank you. Are the Discord sounds from stream? Yeah, they're from stream. People are joining the voice channel for the Patreon PUGs, but I have myself deafened right now because I'm getting everything situated on my end. I'm not as interested in the game anymore due to game design and balancing decisions. I think it would be more game design and competitive integrity. But yeah. I had to comment more, but I'll wait for the video. All right, cheers, mate. Thank you very much. YouTube being mature, that's a stretch. The Twitch, YouTube war. Okay. Let's undeafen. So, chat, I don't interact as much when I'm doing the PUGs because I'm trying to talk with these people.
I am going to lose my mind playing Tracer.
How will you be able to tell? But loves and kisses, I will be talking in between when I can. And I may even let you guys choose what character I play. Yeah, that's just why I don't stream PUGs for very long. I'll probably do a couple maps and then, yeah, we'll go from there. But if you're gonna see me like play, I mean, imagine missing out on the opportunity and watching me play the game. Like, I mean, the artistry that you would be losing. Okay.
Unless.
Cannot let him get an invite, by the way?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'll just sit this one out then.
Yeah, good. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Adios. Have a good night.
I can't invite you to custom game for some reason.
Stop.
Why can't I? Here. What the fuck?
I can't get in. I can't get in.
Can you shut up? Thanks.
Does anybody know what the like designation for the current version of Overwatch Rin is?
What?
Oh wait, this is Ice 2.
Like the little numbers that say like 2 point whatever.
Oh, I don't know. Like the patch 2.1, so 1632. Also, Kiev, you're a Zen main now?
We're thinking about it.
Oh, we are.
We?
Oh, okay.
Who's we?
You and
this is a
who
collective
else?
decision? Since when?
It's the voices.
Playing a
Honestly,
Europe region.
Mood. That skin is sick.
Thank you, Twitch. I'll turn it down just a little bit.
Spylo, question.
What? Yes, answer.
Do you know if there is a scrim code that works with the perks yet?
No, just run it normal. We can walk back. Kia,
right, I'm just checking.
Some of us need to lose some weight anyway.
Did I get kicked?
Well, you lost haircut was for? Yeah.
I knew that was coming. Go ahead, get it over with. Hair comments, go ahead. I'm here for it. Just you have 30 seconds, and then I'm banning the topic.
Lost 50 pounds.
What wasn't working about perks originally?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm just disappointed you didn't go all the way with it.
It would carry like them over, but only some.
You might try DKEH.
As well.
DKEH.
Yeah.
I have the little bar on my left on this.
Yeah, but no, they didn't reset between rounds.
And then only
for some of them though.
Only for DPS.
So does that
only
plastic go
DPS?
through?
Weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Topic of my hair is closed.
Spylo, I missed out. I was gonna say ask if we could host Easter in your hair this year.
So does that
try it
plastic
on.
get
Sorry, it's
to
closed. I
play
can't
against
interact.
Philo for the entirety of PUGs?
I'll try it on
Thank
the
you for
other
the tier
thing.
2. I appreciate it.
Can we
Congrats on
get
new
Spylo to
badge.
dye his hair, do you think?
When you just said the
really
word
ugly.
that, yeah,
Okay,
that's
but
what I was
one
like,
color.
okay, man, where's this one? Can we just get
why not?
die? It's like, oh.
Hold on. He needs to have silver hair.
Fantastic. Thank you for the 6 months. Congrats on the new
Silver
badge.
hair and then some sunglasses.
Okay, I will say Pepper was we'll extend the topic because Pepper was like, I wonder how many if we do like a drive for you to dye your hair. She apparently is all in the dyeing thing. I don't know, man. I'm kind of 30 years old. I don't know if no, sadly no. But like but like the whole like blonde
Maybe
like
sadly
streak.
no, Spilo. Are you okay?
You know what? I agree with you on that one, Spilo.
No, I'm not. I'm in a voice channel with you, okay? So
you should shave the sides, keep the top super duper long, and then braid it.
Oh.
Let's have Spilo with dreads.
That'd be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
No.
That would be sick.
Cannot let him get an invite again. I got kicked for some reason.
Spilo, are you capable of growing a beard?
For some reason. What?
Can you grow a beard?
Thank you.
I don't know if I can answer that question accurately.
So no.
I mean, yes or no?
Basically no. But Pepper freaks if my chin hairs are like longer, like are visible. So it's like I don't know.
That's fair.
It would take a while.
No testosterone.
Yeah, it would take a while.
Chin hair.
Can you just cut your bangs and tape them to your chin?
Yeah, I could do that. I could do that.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. Yeah.
She likes you being the pretty boy.
Okay, I'm gonna ask a few questions of a few people.
Yes.
All right, sour chicken. I mean, what roles do you want? Just respond to me in the chat. Erie, what roles do you want? Erie, hello.
Great start.
I'll play any role.
Any role.
If you put me on tank and the other tank is a Zarya player, then no.
That's fine. I can just ban Zarya.
Got you. I'm playing Zarya.
Is that it? Oh, Metristan, are you good with anything today, or do you want something specific?
I would vastly prefer tank, but I can run DPS if necessary.
Okay, so all right, got it. Today's a tank type of day.
What? I don't get the question.
No, you don't.
Oh, okay.
I'm only gonna play ball with no shooting.
Because most of you I know preferences for. There's only a couple of you who change up your preferences. So if you want to change up your preferences, just tell me. Otherwise, I'm gonna assume it's the same as normal.
Chad, I think I'm gonna be playing tank. What should I play in tank?
Okay.
It's like no shield Reinhardt.
In which case,
thank you, Akash. Very cool.
Just like LH Cloudy.
I may employ
McCray,
strats on tank.
Why are you level 1 endorsement, McCray?
You know why?
You really need to ask.
Yeah, I think
you guys want Winston? Oh, it's gonna be bad, but I'll try it.
No.
I think it'll be a Winston mirror. I think Vanilla plays Winston.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he told me he wanted me dead.
Why is
told me to
Rhythm
kill my
level
family.
5 endorsement? That doesn't seem right.
Spencer Cola would like to not be on support today. That's the only.
Okay, no
I'm
support
wondering
today.
if I should
Okay,
play
well, that works
Doomfist. I could play Doomfist, but I'm wondering how much Doomfist should I invest before the Doomfist con.
Okay,
Maybe
well,
I'll play
it gave me
Doomfist and
party,
Pugs.
so have fun with that.
But I don't sweat on Doomfist.
We almost 6.
I'll play
8,
Doomfist and
so we
Winston
need
at
2
some
more
point
for the
today. I'll
new
try.
lobby. Just BT dubs. All right,
Doomfist
I'm running
SSK.
it. So let's have Team 2 move down. That's Vanilla, Gregor, Spensacola, Skookong, and TTG, TTV. The rest of us, let's go to 2 tires.
Nurse. Isn't it 4 tires now?
Oh, now.
Oh, good
shows
point.
up. I gotta turn my game. I think this is gonna be a Winston mirror, and I'm gonna have to diff Vanilla live in 4K.
Okay.
Oh, that's right.
What's the lobby looking like?
Wait, am I playing DPS or support? Okay.
Your support, sadly.
Okay.
I'm smelling Ana. I don't know what TTG plays on support, but I say Ana, Winston, Spensacola.
I won't show you this one yet. So.
I don't know what Gregor would play. Cass, Torb, Tracer.
A better world is possible today.
You're on hotspot, so I might see. That's what we love to see.
Outcomes are uncertain, but I am certain.
Oh well, we'll see how good my prick is. Still.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
It's like below freezing in the room right now.
Stay in sight, and I'll keep you safe.
Okay. I will. Where do we want to?
Looks like the best team in the
hold here? Soft hold front. Back up to second. I mean, we have an Ashe, so maybe not hard hold front.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Really got him there.
They're on Bastion. Are you serious? Bastion Zenyatta.
I'm taking damage.
Nice.
Oh. Assault is gone.
This is pretty low.
Clear out. No recovery.
Oh.
On no sleep. Bastion no turret.
I got no packs at the moment.
You're good.
I have bubble here.
Alright.
You're in there, bubble funnel.
I got N2.
Jin, careful, Bastion turret. Where's the one? Which one? I'm dropping backline with bubble. Oh, all low, all low, all low, all low.
No one can stop me.
I'm going.
Oh, there's Gregor.
We're okay. I have jump in a second. I'm jumping out.
Alright.
They're tracer swapping. Gas.
Dodge this.
Listen, they're gonna have nano, so be really careful.
I'm gonna fall back.
And maybe, and probably primal as well. Whoa, Bastion's rotating early.
You 100% this primal.
Oh, I missed that. Yeah, I missed my boop on the Bastion. I needed it.
Come on, team. Let's push them out.
Oh, Ana's one.
No one's there for it.
Oh! My bad.
I
should be okay. I'm okay. Okay, reset.
Objective lost.
Okay, listen, they're gonna have Transcendence. Did they primal?
They did not.
Okay, so they're gonna have Trans Primal, Bastional. Close to noon.
I fed there. My bad.
We can force primal here. We can force primal.
You already primal.
Wins.
Sorry.
You guys lied to me. Cassie here. Oh yeah.
Oh no, he has Marble.
What? I might be misremembering.
I think it was Spyro that used Primal. Oh yeah, cast somewhere.
Can we walk here?
I got slapped.
Bastion's right here. Bastion's right here. Where are we at? Okay, where are we?
All dead.
Alright, that's alright. Confusing, I think, with the sub. Wait, who's switching?
It's never too late to try again.
We got ults here.
Get in there, Bob. Purified.
We can break bubble, then I go in.
Oh, careful, Noon up there. Oh.
I tried to get him. He drove up.
What's up?
That was disaster.
I'm on fire.
Switch here.
Yeah, just dying point.
I'm switching up. Fine.
I straight up think Reaper's gonna feel worse. I mean, you're fine to swap, but if that's a comfort pick for you, but the Onizen Cassidy Bastion is just like, that's a lot of frontline pressure.
I'll be good.
Okay.
I'm gonna play more defensively for this.
Okay.
Touching down. No one can stop me. You're safe.
Should we break bubble?
Okay.
You're a lifesaver.
Oh, it's Men's Gold. Cast me, man, dude. Oh well.
That's alright.
I'm with you.
Touching down.
They're pushing you. They're pushing you, Reaper.
Yep. My bad.
Sorry. Kiev, just come here and Kitsune with me, will you?
Close your eyes.
Hi, Primal.
Feel better? Let the Kitsune guide you.
Bastion's in front of us. Spawn.
I need to live.
Ah.
I'll touch. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Unlucky. Yeah, so they're very anti-Winston, which means they're very, very fragile and very slow. So anything that can take angles, more proactive, use verticality and stuff will feel pretty good. I might swap off of Winston if we're gonna run something similar. I'll probably go Doom versus something like this.
Hmm. Yeah, because I don't think Arna was the play there. I was better off staying Brood, but just the Bastion's a pain.
Yeah, agreed.
Our future will be forged in conflict.
Can't chase a
That and if I didn't miss all my whip shots on him.
Nah, that's fine.
Make sure you're ready. Who knows what we'll find out there.
Låt proffsen sköta det här. Gå och dra något gammalt över dig.
Did I pack my... I'm sure it's fine.
Nice try, Twinkle Toes.
I'll call. Oh, whoops. I'll call when I'm going top and harassing. But I'm gonna be kind of in and out pretty quickly versus that.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attack commencing. Capture objective A.
Zen, probably a very similar comp. Sounds like Genji as well. Just chill, I'm not up there. Got Bastion. Bastion's in. Winston no jump. Winston no jump.
They did push in hard.
Careful for sleep there. Yeah, I'm going across. Genji, shoot Genji.
Genji low.
I'm way too far in, my bad.
They're on Kiri, careful. Winston's completely by himself.
Yeah, they didn't even follow him there.
Thank you.
All according to plan.
Arna's off a lot.
Wait, where is she? Oh my gosh, she's right here. No, I'm sitting.
Prepare yourself.
Wait, did you kill? I'm out. Oh, I go over extended. That's my bad. Just reset. They're gonna have Nano here, I think.
Crush them.
Soonish.
They should have Primal. Maybe Kitsune?
This is your warning.
You're all good.
Wait.
I got hacked.
We need to chill. We need to chill.
Nice.
Shoot bubble. Break bubble. He's by himself. Completely by himself.
He's trying to jump out. He's half.
I got primal out. Just lift. Shoot bubble.
Oh.
Try me. I dare you. Let the Kitsune guide you.
Need to live. That's like a lot of ults in there. Break bubble. Number one.
Upgrade unlocked.
Did you one? Oh, I got lost. My bad.
Where'd
Genji's
you
still
go?
one. I trolled.
I did too.
Wait,
I
Genji's
thought
still
I
in the
would've
top
gone
left.
with
He's up here. 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 Genji's one. Genji's one. Run.
Ready for a knockout?
I can't get him.
I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay.
Meteor strike.
I'm out.
Nice shot.
Winston half up there.
Some on the left.
Exterminated.
Oh, monkey was one. But
Wise decision.
Recap. It's fine.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Got swept.
Anna's down.
I'm just getting started.
It's fine.
Nice. Wait, Summer's kind of punishable here. I think she's underneath.
Insignificant.
I can go up 2 and 3.
Yeah, we're just moving cart for free.
Face me.
No bubble.
I'm breaking bubble down below.
My might.
Genji, no deflect, no dash. Summer flanking. Summer's on the flank here.
In this position.
No bubble.
Oh.
We're still moving cards, so just chill. Alright, well, let's play for a fight here. We gotta win one now.
Oh.
They're low in there.
Ah, crap. That's okay, we die. Let's reset. One fight scenario now. Let's play for just Kitsune for space and just focus on punishing Summer, Genji, or Winston, whoever's close. Alright, I think we can. We can pop Kitsune whenever, just even for space now. If you guys are live, we should use it. Just use it for yourself even.
Let the Kitsune guide you.
Prepare yourself.
Hit the Sombra and yet the hack still went through, apparently.
Gotta go.
Powered up.
I'm gonna die in cart. Did I get the right perk? I did. Okay. Alright, reset, y'all. Reset all the way up, all the way up, all the way up, all the way up. They will push the Sombra. Yeah, we just need to pop.
Yes.
We just need to press our ults sooner.
Find strength.
There's not going to be a perfect setup for any of our ults. They're going to have a lot of really powerful ults, so we just need to take what's going. Genji dash? Genji no dash? Genji no dash? I'm going to peel this actually.
Oh.
Nice. Punching. It's okay. Play to win, play to win, play to win. Whoops. Play to win, play to win. Shoot monkey.
I'm dead.
Oh, that's tragic. Sorry. You need to get out from them, they will kill you.
I thought I'd get a little bit of poke there.
I'll watch here.
Alright, I'm gonna go in and use ult here at some point.
60 seconds.
No sleep.
What
I got Ana.
And she in mid.
I'm gonna touch card and then worry about looking for dive.
I'm gonna go on carry.
Driving the payload forward.
Plotting out the dig site.
I am playing to win this fight. I am playing to win this fight.
It's go time.
Nice. Genji won. Nice.
Watching this position.
Look at monkey, look at monkey.
More time. Seize victory now.
I'm pushing. That's Suzu. I'm stuffing leftover. Sombra's gonna be here. I couldn't even touch it. Okay, yeah, we needed to win the other fight. And we didn't have Nano Blade. I got touch. That's okay, good try. We got a nice attack there till the end. GG's. GG's.
GG's.
Hello. That was good.
Yeah.
Play of the game.
This ends now.
Man, it's proof that anybody can get play of the game in the year of our Lord 2025.
You can get play of the game.
Yeah.
GG.
GG's.
MTD.
GG's.
Okay, I think we have enough for 2 lobbies.
Holy
I
crap.
think you're right.
In which case, I'm gonna actually do my job. Let me first. So.
Doing job sounds boring.
You mean acupuncture?
Yes. You all have needles.
Who are you gonna puncture first?
So there's 22 if I counted right. Unless anyone's not
How
here.
do you get into different divs in Face It League?
By being better.
Yeah.
I think.
Wow.
Okay. Face It Elo.
They have not
Cool.
done. Yeah, pretty sure it's based on your face elo, and it's only
Okay,
based,
speaking
like,
of Face It Elo, can you
rank
explain
10.
this image? In,
What did I just do?
MTD, true, yeah. The defense was too bad. I messed up way too much stuff on defense. I ended up on Bastion and turret like way too often, and there were other angles available. Yeah, I got a haircut. Tier 2 is the Tier 2 Patreon sub. Tier 2 Patreon sub on Patreon. So it's like, there's like a one lower tier of Patreon, and it's a second tier Patreon. So I just want to, I should probably clarify that. Let me actually, let me update that. No, it's not your bad. Commands, edit, PUGs, Tier 2 Patreon sub tier. That should be a little bit clearer. The self-moving payload is one thing I really like from Rivals Forces, both unique content. That's actually true. That is definitely an interesting thing as well, I will say. Good call. That's an interesting one to think about. I hadn't thought about that. Kissing the Bastion, yeah. Yes, you need to pay money for me to throw your games, correct. Oh man, I am out of water. I want to get some water. Give me 1 second. I can get teammates to do that for free? Yeah. I can chat for the next couple of minutes. I'm gonna hang on 1 second. I'm deafened. Just whenever you're ready, just
Yeah,
move me or
I'll let
me
you know.
Okay,
I'll
good.
deal with you last.
Thank you, sir. He'll deal with me last. But yeah, I can chat between maps. I think it's probably the best way of doing things. Best friends tier and above. Yeah, let me double check Patreon. I think so. What the heck is wrong with the Patreon website? What? Let me see. Here, I can just do this. Patreon.com/final. Yes, the best friends tier. I'm not making a Face It guild, no. They reached out to me, but it's something I'm not able to do right now. Encouraging parasocial behavior? Absolutely. It's not parasocial if I give it my thumbs up. Can I still spectate? I mean, No, because there's only so much room in the lobby. I mean, you could watch. Yeah, sorry. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and hide the Overwatch good and bad rivals channel. Actually, I can move me a chance to move around some channels. DPS rework, balance, and then move that down to defunct. Oh, never mind, we're good. And then sync that permissions. You want to watch the winning POV? Hey man, look. I win about 50-50%. You get what I'm saying? That's how it goes. I was asking about what's the difference between Master and GM and PC. There's no difference outside of everything. The answer is nothing and everything, basically. And that's the case for every platform and every rank. Bronze to silver, they're better at positioning on average, mechanics, cooldown usage, game sense, awareness, everything. I invite you for Christmas if you're tier 3 sub? Yes. Yes. Yes, I will become your child's godfather. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, there's not really a big there's no like any one key difference between a Masters and Grandmaster player. It's like, that's like a good YouTube thumbnail or content piece, but in actuality, the reality is that like, it's player specific. The difference between a Masters version of you and a Grandmaster version of you is everything that you do well right now, but do it even more, and everything that you don't do well right now, and you make fewer of those mistakes. That's the reality. And so you just kind of have to put emphasis on strengthening your weaknesses and strengthening your strengths. Hi, kitty. She is sound asleep. Okay, wait, can you guys see this? Hi. Do you know how backed up you are on VOD reviews for scheduling? You'd have to check my website, but I think it's pretty far. Like, I think I have sessions booked out like the second week of June. But I think there might be a few available. Like if I go to coaching right now, hang on. Coaching! In-depth coaching call. May 20th? Yeah. May 20th? It's been worse at times. And then the 30-minute reviews are April 10th. There you go. April 10th. So, yeah. Yeah. But if I pull up my calendar here, I actually do. I think people booked out really far. I had to limit how far people would book out because I remember at one point I had somebody was booked out like freaking 5 months in advance one time. I was like, wait, why is that even possible? Well, yeah, I just don't have as much availability as I used to, so I don't do as much coaching as I used to. I used to do like a ridiculous amount of coaching back in the day, but as I've done other things and like more content, more prep, more etc. stuff, I also was working like 6.5 days a week for like years. Is it busier now because of the resurgence? Yes and no. My coaching stuff wasn't really affected by... I guess I'm going to Iced too. My coaching was not really affected by Marvel Rivals.
Job to make sure he's in, so.
I am here, Iced.
Yes,
it would just be really funny if you didn't.
Where did Spilo? Wrong one. I didn't tell you to move.
Oh, sorry. I was in the spectator, so I assumed.
Oh, okay. No. Well, you know what assumptions make out of us.
Yeah. I'll be right back. Okay, just put me wherever and start the game.
Where's some nuance?
I coached one of your Hans games. I wanted to quit. Yes. Yeah, the resurgence wasn't affected as much because I think like the type of person that's gonna be serious about Overwatch is less likely to go jump on the Rivals hype train at the time. And also like I had some Rivals coaching and people were more interested in hero shooters as a whole. Yeah. Yeah, I have 30-minute reviews. I have them 2 a week. They usually end up being like 40 minutes, but yeah. The resurgence after perks. Yeah, I know what you meant, Nina, but honestly, it's been pretty much the same. You know, after perks, before perks. You got break coaching for me and I'm one drinking on and all? Is that a positive or negative review? I got Rikochi one trick on it. Okay. Repo? No, I don't have time, man. I don't have time. I've got company over. Have you guys been hit by the weather? If you any of you guys East Coast, Central Coast, Midwest? Heard there's been some thunderstorms and tornadoes. Bro, I do not mess with freaking tornadoes. So if there's a tornado warning, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna go ahead and like lock myself in a cage. I'm freaking done. Freaking hate tornadoes, man. We don't get them very like I don't think there's been one around where I live anytime recently, but I grew up in Florida, man. I can live with hurricanes, no problem, but not tornadoes, dude. Tornadoes freak me. Nah, shut up, Apolify. I don't mind hurricanes, but not tornadoes, dude. Just frick me, man. It's been nice lately, and now it's cold again. Yeah. You're just playing? Yeah, sure. All right, chat. What do I play? Support. What do I play? Support. What do I play? Support. No mercy. No mercy. No mercy. I think everything else I'd actually be okay with. I'd play anything else, just not mercy. Because hurricane is just like wind and stuff. As long as you're equipped with the water damage. Like, it was really bad recently. That was kind of like an extreme example. Lucio, Juno, Lucio, 2 votes for Lucio. Here we go.
I'll let you know. I gotta give it a look.
Although if not that him doesn't pick like honor or something, I'm gonna have to swap.
Okay, you guys should be fine. Ping me if there's an issue.
We're so locked in, boys and girls.
What did...
I'm here.
I've been practicing my way.
Why did Skukong say me being on tank is perfect for him? What did he mean by this?
Because he likes to play Winston.
I'm kind of scared now.
Oh, that was a pretty good one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Squeakong normally plays Monkey.
I found peace.
Oh, he wants some Monkey Mirror.
This is a freaking weird composition, guys.
Well, it was either this or Junkrat, so...
I'd probably...
Attackers
That's all good.
Genji,
Genji.
Oh, you're a Genji.
Is that a Liam Genji?
Oh no, it's Ryan.
Taki, Genji, Mercy.
Oh, I thought Squeakong was the one. Oh.
I'll speed out. I will speed directly into the range.
Hey! That does not look good.
Maybe I'll try
something different this time. I'll speed. Do you get good spawn? Nice. We cold close. We take angles. We do DPS. Their comp is like really good versus ours, sadly.
Oh, the Rhino split.
Yeah.
The Rhino split.
Yeah, I don't know if we can get him. We can get the Mercy though.
Yeah, come.
Okay, I'm dead to stickies. Nice.
Echo one.
No. Yeah, we just have to spread like Lucio one side, Kiri another side,
my favorite part.
May on an angle. If we group that, Echo Mercy is legit just gonna kill all of us.
Mercy hit, right?
So I've learned something today. Charge goes through wall on ping.
I'm so
what is that timing?
Crank up the game.
Might be dead here.
Run in here.
No, I'm good. I'm so good.
Get some healing bees going.
They're not getting any push. They're just live.
I'm emerging to you.
Oh, Ryan. Mega split.
I think Ryan is bait.
Yeah, they just off it. This life weaver. Never mind.
Yeah, Ryan's bait. He's never overextended. Trust. He will kill us every time.
Louder this time.
Speeding. Right, coming. Ay.
Get into the groove.
Don't move.
I'm dealing with the rest of their team right now, so.
Yeah, I shouldn't have done that.
No, it's fine.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Lucio.
Lucio. Copy. I think I'm
You
top.
want that louder?
Yeah, there we go.
I love helping others succeed. Healing boom.
They have blade. They also swapped their. Oh my gosh.
They stopped their echo, yeah.
Oh what?
Whoa! Oh, they have Pharah. That's what it is. Genji 1. Genji 1. Genji literally 1 HP. Please kill him.
No! Fight him. Mercy. He's gonna have shatter soon, no? Mercy.
Nice, you killed him, Mercy, though. Yeah, I can block it. That's okay. Good pulse. I don't know if... Okay. Good kill on the pedal.
No, I'm out.
I'm back. I can help you. I'm on the floor.
Oh, I got directed. Wait, Forrest one.
I can kill her. Aw, maybe? Yeah, I got her.
Nice, guys. Just play nice and slow. Don't even worry about cards. They got a while to push. I'm with you, Tristan. Almost.
Just chilling. Just waiting for team.
I'm with you.
Yeah. We can go whenever. Oh, there's a Pharah behind us. Actually, can you shoot this Pharah?
Yeah.
Okay, she's out.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, I'm joining this Weaver. She's up. I can touch.
Pedal broken.
Okay.
Mercy, 1 HP.
I'm with you now.
Negative damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Damn.
Next track.
I'm gonna jump. Just shoot the Rhine. I'm testing the rest of their backline here. Where did she go?
We can't kill Ryan. I'm gonna go with you on backline, Tristan.
I can't. I'm out. I have no bubble. Just shoot the Ryan. He's 1. Very low. Yes! There we go. Jumping in 1 HP. Yep. Genji 1.
Genji's 1.
Nice.
No,
you got him.
Play
Ryan's flanking. Ryan flanking. Be careful.
You guys might be able to kill Ryan unironically. Top. Just walk away from him.
How's that for sound therapy?
Frick, dude.
Oh, the Genji wasted blade though. Just stay away from him. He has dash. Okay.
Time for a remix.
We have Kitsune if you can respawn in time. Touch if you have to. I can't make it back.
Okay, this lobby is not balanced for me on Lucio. I'm getting hard countered. Straight up pharmacy. Less like nothing to do. I can't play this.
Play on it.
I'll play on him.
Switching sides.
Not.
I legit can't interact with anything.
Or you can even play Zen. Their Ryan is just feeding all game.
No. Like the Ryan's total bait. We don't have anything to kill him. If I play on it, I'm still just gonna like sleep the Ryan and walk away, and there's a chance that will be hard. Like we actually can kill nothing. We don't have Discord. Even with Discord, I don't know if we could.
Yeah. Would Sojourn be better than Tracer here?
No,
Probably.
Tracer's fine. Tracer's, I think, fine. I think anything that Tracer was fine.
They locked them far Mercy though.
Yeah, but we should bully that Life Reaver so much, or Genji so much.
If we do this right, they won't even.
Actually, if we're running Ash, yeah, then that's fine.
Ash is probably I better hit scan.
See how they like
Yeah,
that Tesla
it's probably
cannons
better here.
do long range.
Honestly, building Sour Chicken is always a good
It can be
strategy, no
rather
matter what you're doing.
shocking.
Yes, bad map for
Stay
Lucio,
sharp.
bad comp,
It's harder to
and
keep you
bad,
alive when
bad
you're
play. It
distracted.
was not the holy, unholy trifecta.
Oh, they swapped the monkey.
Yeah, I was gonna say I heard that. That's fine.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
They're on far as well.
Commencing.
Probably
There's
pharmacy.
this up. Oh, the monkey here.
Yeah.
We have everything we need.
He dropped them. I'm gonna jump.
Oh.
Drop him.
Healed up.
Nade.
Monkey in, monkey in. He's no one else. You can just kill him. He's 1
Just teleport
HP.
away. Just teleport away.
I need to reload.
I see an enemy here.
No pull.
Sweet dreams.
Winston's sleeping.
This will cut the pain.
May
Come on,
ice.
Weaver.
Winston's burning.
I'm coming up close to nade. There's res.
More enemies turning up.
Healing you.
May.
Hey,
No,
like-
fuck.
Enemy detected.
Patched up.
I'm just gonna die here.
Yeah, I'm
Weaver
out.
sleeping. Weaver sleeping. Weaver sleeping. Weaver sleeping.
Where? I can't see him.
Okay, we just have to. We have to. With the exception of Ash, we gotta walk away from Winston. We don't peel to Winston.
You'll have to try
Impossible.
harder than that.
Gotta just teleport away or walk away.
I hear them. They're playing up here.
Is there an echo, by the way? I don't know if that's
No,
coming from
they're.
me.
It's Mayfaro.
Hold on. Reloading.
May.
Yeah. May out.
Rotating for free. I'm with you, Tristan.
On Weaver.
I'm with you. I still have cooldowns.
No pedal. Wait, Weaver one.
May.
May.
Far naded.
Ah, she got pulled.
I still have
Weaver over
saves.
here though.
Weaver half.
Helden sterben nicht.
Monkey
Shot for
nearly
one.
no armor.
May. She has no ice block, I'm pretty sure. Never mind. I
Got me.
lied.
Justice reigns from
Big kill. We can
I
win
have
this.
nano. I have nano. I almost have nano.
Stand up straight. You're powered up.
Blood.
You got
That was
pulled.
Worst timing.
Man.
That's fine. Our Tracer died and I died literally as it did it. My bad.
Lissa och demiktir.
I have primal this fight. We can just go in with that. Jumping.
I'm not there yet.
That's okay. I'm just saging right now.
Monkey's still in the room. So just be careful when we push forward.
Yeah, be careful. I'm on them all right now.
First hit.
Watching this location.
the Kitsune guide you.
Oh no, I messed up my nade. Fat fingered. We get Mercy? Mercy 1?
Oh,
Here.
so good.
Nah, she got
just-
healed.
just
She got healed by the
straight
tree.
hit. Oh, this is rough.
This is pain. Yeah.
One of these days I'll end up in Fiji.
Come here. Winston above. Be careful. Far here.
Healing you.
On their backline. Weaver.
Weaver 1. I'm with you, Christian.
Weaver still won. Oh my god, I finally killed him! Jesus Christ!
Last fight.
Pocket.
Focus,
Weaver
focus.
feeding! Right here! Kill him.
Helden sterben nicht.
Weaver's dead. Please, the monkey just jumped back to point.
We're outnumbered. Be careful. Fucking gnome.
Oh, that's okay. I just
That was
wasn't
my
fair lobby.
I was doing so terrible. My bad.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It wasn't just you. Not a fair lobby. That one ice.
Yeah.
Where's
Bro, the POV on Teki at the very ending frame where he just gets slapped and then there's just a Mercy that flies into the door.
I thought it was good enough, but it wasn't.
Are these balanced by rank? Kind of, sort of. You usually, but it's really messy. Like, you know, if I play like Lucio, it's basically balanced around me. Maybe sometimes it's not perfect. That's basically TLDR. It's hard. It's relatively close, but yeah. So it would require me playing really well and other people not playing so well. It also is like, it's one of those moments as well where like you can put somebody on, like in theory there should be a weaker player on the enemy team, but maybe they're on a character that's easier, or they're playing a character that's good for the map, or they had a good performance. Yeah, so overall it's fine. It's like anything else, it's just very difficult to balance. And also sometimes people's ranks are not like, people's ranks are in flux as well, you know? Sometimes people are like, it's been a while, they're rusty, or they're really hot. Yeah, Sour Chicken is also one of their higher rank players. The Life Weaver is a high rank player. So the Life Weaver is like their second highest rank player, probably. It was their tank and their Life Weaver, their highest ranked players, and then the yeah, the Pharmacy did enough to, I mean, yeah, he's Grandmaster. I'm also not playing well today, which is what it is. Or it's just like, fine, I'll do it myself. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Pharmacy is really freaking good on that first defense. Like, you don't even have to be that good at the character. And TDG is good, but you don't even have to be good. You can just kind of spam down that choke. Second point, it gets a lot harder, but obviously we never got to second point, so. I'll probably do one more chat, and then I'll probably end stream. And then just because that way I can kind of focus on the actual lobbies. Yeah, I mean, it's much harder for the attacking Ashe there. And then on our defense, our comp was fine, I guess, but like needed a lot stronger mechanical execution than I was giving in. So we also got caught in a counter swap. So we swapped too much. We didn't get too much all value. It was just a lot that went wrong there. Oh. Bounce on Spilo playing Zen, who plays Lucy. Yeah, basically. That's always the hard part, is like, sometimes when I'm in support, I kind of have to sweat, otherwise it's not balanced. Like, I was not playing well there, so it's kind of annoying. But we'll get one more. We'll pop off last one, surely. Trying to climb in competitive and study my losses. Do you have any advice for which kind of street play avoid? I would just look at the ones where you weren't sure what to do. Losses are wins. Like, even if you win, but you weren't really sure what to do, that's so much more valuable. And just like look at how you were positioning or how you were playing and what you could have done differently. I think that's the key. All right, what do you guys want to see for DPS? We'll let you guys choose the last one.
Prepare for battle.
I'll do one more here, full lock in. Venture, Ashe. I'll do whatever one's voted twice or 3 times maybe. But I'll let you guys cook it a little bit. Lots of Venture, man. Everyone's on the Venture train. All right. Toxic.
Let's make history. Gear up, crew. Who knows what we'll find out there?
From above.
If we don't win this one, I'm going to set my house on fire.
5, 4.
Don't worry.
Do I just play the Malka then?
No.
Sanity?
No, play the Venture. Or play the Venture, I say. Play the Winston. Genji, Venture, Lucio.
Got you covered.
Winston 1. Winston 1. No jump. No bubble.
I got anti through that. That's ridiculous.
The objective is now active.
I'm afraid they're taking our point.
We kind of have to hold this space here. I need help now.
I'm on the way.
Hablarán de mi muerte a lo largo de la historia. Coming through.
Winston low. Venture
one.
right side. Winston 1.
They still have both DPS behind us, by the way.
Need help.
I can heal you.
We have to take some angles here. We've got 5 of us in one spot. That's not a spy little pug. We gotta like literally everyone's on their own flank, otherwise it's not a spy little pug. But yeah, they're like 5-man stuffing us. We gotta take some angles.
Their Winston's behind.
Yep. Let's play him first. Force primal.
There they are. Get ready.
Wow.
It's alright. It's okay. Reset.
Take caution.
He's half over there. Made him waste bubble.
I vote.
In action, baby. Gotcha. Thanks. I thought I was a goner. Excavation.
That's just unfortunate.
I got mine. I got my 1.
Genji 1.
There is 3 on right side. You guys should be okay.
Let the out of the crypt and into the quicksand.
Life protects life.
Coming through.
Oh, yeah, all my bad.
We're good.
Nice.
For you.
Walking.
Venture no burrow, but he's out. Oh.
Nice. Yeah, I'm kind of main charactering a little bit right now. That was like 3 on me that last fight, so if we can just... I'll call when I've got people on me and you guys just do stuff elsewhere.
Yeah, just let them target you. With this whole point.
Venture on our right. Winston's very low. Nice.
Excavation initiation.
I'm going for that.
I can help you.
Whoopsie daisy.
Worries.
You're behind that.
It's alright.
I don't know if Suzu yet.
I am such a klutz.
That's alright, we get a next run.
This map isn't the best either for
Yeah, I
Winston,
got a
feel
haircut.
like.
Hey RJ! Tell me what to do against ball. You shoot it if you can do damage versus it. Avoid it if you can't, as best as you possibly can.
You've done enough time on the back line.
I didn't maximize seed value, yes. Yeah.
Okay, switch it up here.
Hey, so what's the deal with your whole blinking thing?
Well, Winston describes it as localized time travel.
Time travel? Like, you can go back in time and be there for when they laid the first brick of the Great Pyramid of Giza?
Not exactly, but I guess I've never tried.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
At least we're getting a free fight scene,
Surprise!
What's on me? He's super deep.
Good looking out.
Hey, Genji.
Lucio's dead.
can push in here.
Demonios. That one hurt.
The objective is push them off the point. Yes.
They're all on me.
Gotcha.
Or at least two. Winston's low.
Winston 1.
Winston dead. There's a dead drone. I'm dead.
Lucio half.
Get you 1. Get you 1. Get you 1. Ooh.
I don't think they belong at the point.
Oopsie daisy.
Might be staggering here, but might not be.
That is new. Thanks. I thought I was a goner.
They're chase like they're taking a little fucking shit.
Come out better.
There's a wind behind him. Nice.
Whatever.
Got you. That's fine. I'm gonna.
Get you 1. Get you 1. Get you 1.
They're all
Get you 1
low.
over here. Oh my gosh. Get you.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Got him. You're dead.
Oh man.
That's a bump on the noggin for sure.
I'm coming back with ult in about 5 seconds.
I almost had it.
Excavation initiation.
We can get maybe. Lucio 1.
Frick, I messed up. Thank you. Just need to reset.
I will assist. Supporting in T equals 0.
Oh, I got freaking smoked.
That happens.
Burrow animation always catching me.
Back in action, baby. Yeah, coming through.
It's okay.
Defeat.
Oh.
Well, you know what, Ty?
Alright. Why is chat flaming so hard? I mean, that's just tradition. No backseating, but only flaming. GG's. Yeah, I'm gonna call stream here for right now, just because I'm gonna focus on just playing PUGs right now. Yeah, house burned, basically. GG's. Okay. I'll be back on Tuesday. I don't know what the plan is for like next week beyond Tuesday, but I am planning on streaming on Tuesday. But beyond that, I'm not really sure. I think Tuesday we'll maybe revisit the skill ceiling tier list thing again, and maybe like revisit that tier list because I would like to make a video out of that. But I felt like last time was only halfway done. So yeah, we'll cross that when we get there. But yeah, GG's. I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Have a safe weekend. Don't really have a whole lot more else to add. Yeah.